It's happening. Listen, before this episode starts, we just thought we'd make a little clip to let you know that anyone who doesn't know, we now have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/another one podcast. And there's like a few different tiers on there. And we can go and get where you can sign up to us. And it helps us make this podcast. Helps us us pay for the podcast. Helps us make it better. Helps us improve and put more content out. We've got big plans for things we want to do. Haven't we? Since
yes, we have. We've got big plans. We have got big plans.
Yes, Rob. Yes.
No, we have got big plans, and without anyone signing to the Patreon, this will die.
Yeah.
This will go away eventually, because if we can't make it work financially, we can't keep doing it, can we?
No, we can't just keep throwing fucking...
No, and we've got Aftermill to buy, and that fucking costs
We've got kids to pay for. Yeah. Listen, I'll be honest, if I can't provide, I'll leave.
Yeah.
So...
And we already know...
You don't want to make an orphan.
We already know how it's going, don't we? So we needed to be giving us something back.
Yeah, please.
Because we're bleeding here.
My kids are begging. My kids begging.
So sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/another one podcast.
That's it. There's 3 different tiers, loads of different prices.
Pick one.
Help
sign
us.
Up. You won't even notice it going out your bank. It's a couple of quid.
Less than a Tesco meal deal. Or, well, maybe more than a Tesco meal deal.
You'd buy a starving man a meal deal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I'm starving. That's what we are. Look at me.
Look at him. Do you think that? Do you think this?
Help.
Another one. Another one.
I can't be fucking arsed with tonight, to be honest with you. But
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams.
Go on, crack on.
Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes.
He loves tits.
And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soul. I'm putting that on the Lord.
I will knock you out, you cunt.
Yes!
Big, I gotta make it just for my kid. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is...
The things are gone.
Fucking hell.
No one wanted that.
Up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big. The only way that I can live.
Tell you my Twitter.
What's your fucking
Stasi87. What's your TikTok?
Are you
What's your
on
handle on
fucking
TikTok?
Are you on
What
fucking
the fuck is it?
YouTube?
I'll follow you.
Shut up! Fuck off!
You fuck off. Come on, let's get normal now.
Freddie, how are you?
Did you just try interviewing me in a way that made this sound vaguely like a podcast?
Go on.
Thank you for coming. Take it easy. Take it. Good night.
Another one.
There we go.
It's happening.
Hi everyone. Welcome to episode 107 or whatever.
Hi.
Of Another One podcast with me, Simon Wozniak, co-host Rob Thomas. And joining us, 2 debutantes.
Why does it sound like you have a gun to your head saying that? Oh, sorry.
To my left, we've got the South Coast's finest.
No,
Okay.
not the South Coast. Southwest.
Southwest. Chris Brooker.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry to fact check you before you even started there. I feel like
it's all right, mate.
I'm that guy.
I don't do facts. And then next we've got...
Hi, honey. Doesn't
Kevin
even know my
Finn.
name. There it is. Hi. I'm Kevin Finn.
Not gay.
Canada's finest.
Not gay. Yep.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you ever said to me when you met me. Thought I was gay.
Really did.
Everybody in this country thinks I'm gay. Everyone.
So, is there loads like you in Canada?
Loads like me?
Yeah.
Loads of gay people in Canada, or people
people who should be
camp?
gay, you haven't realised.
Should be gay.
how
Whoa,
much-
we're coming in hot. Thanks for
much
having
they-
me.
Do you know what I mean? Very camp, but straight.
It's a very liberal country, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, like,
no, I'm one of the weird ones.
we get that beaten out of us from like the age of 4. That
Well, my dad was
either
like,
commit or pack it in.
this is actually a true, sorry to overtake, but my brother, I think he's in the closet. He's married.
Yeah.
But he loved Spice Girls growing up.
Yeah.
And my dad is like a Scouser. So he's like, you can't be fucking listening to Spice Girls. Like, he loved to play Barbies and shit. So my dad went and got like the sexiest Spice Girl picture with like Jerry's big tits out and everything. Put it up on his wall. He goes, there you go, lad. So
Where's your dad from?
he was originally from Huddersfield, but then when he was younger, he moved to Liverpool and just basically like couch sat on everybody's couches and went all to the football matches and everything in the 70s and stuff.
So how old was he when he came to Liverpool?
I think he was maybe 15. He should have sold like this still.
So he should be speaking like Huddersfield.
Yeah, but he had like this weird fucking, he put on this dead fucking Scouse accent, so...
Right, two Scouse.
Yeah, so...
mongrel between Huddersfield and...
Garbage, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So now I have an identity crisis. I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gay.
Where were you born? Where were you born?
I was born in a place called Brampton, which is about 45 minutes outside of Toronto. And lived there my whole life. Lived a year in Ireland, in Dublin, when I was 12, and then moved back to Canada.
For what?
It was weird. I don't know. We moved to Dublin because my mom's from Dublin.
Right.
So it was just to kind of like see what was going on, not to get really heavy off the top. Then unfortunately my dad passed away. So
when you were 12?
Yeah, or when I was 13. We lived there for a year, so we were going to stay there full time. But my dad passed away suddenly, and then we moved back to Canada because all my mom's family's from there, and like growing up there. Welcome. Hi. You enjoying this?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, my dad's dead, so...
Oh, we'll get to Chris, don't worry.
No, we have parallels also, because despite... the thing you said about having a mongrel accent as well, everyone thinks I'm from somewhere else. You know, everyone here thinks I'm from the south. When I go back down to Somerset, they go, "Oh, you sound really northern now." You know, everywhere thinks. And I kind of had a similar path to you. So I was born in Montreal, in Canada. To a dad from Glasgow.
We hate the French.
Look, I left when I was 5. Could not give a fuck. You know, something to do with chips and gravy and conflict and what have you. It's very northern. But born to a dad from Glasgow and a mum from Birmingham, and they both moved out there. Somehow met in Toronto. One thing led to another. Some footage missing, a little bit of it quite graphic, and here I am.
Maybe we're brothers. The exact same shit happened to my family.
We're both very theatrical in different ways.
We look the exact same.
My brother is called Kevin, and he's also born in Canada.
Oh. What's your brother called?
What's your name?
Chris.
Thomas.
Fuck.
Very boring, yeah. I don't like you anyways.
Could have gone with it.
I know, I'm a shithead.
But you've also got a brother who is sensible, married, presumably kids, mortgage.
No, my brother's falling apart. My brother's not. My brother's chaotic.
Is he?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I seemed sour when I met him.
Oh, he's lovely, but he's has the mentality of like a 4-year-old.
Right.
Like myself. Like I pretend like I'm doing well, but I'm not.
So how many siblings? How many of you? What of what?
He's 2 years older than me.
No, but how many kids? So there's you and your brother. Just
my brother and I. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's 2 years older than me, and we actually got along fantastically. Never really fought. Yeah.
You still got on now, though, yeah.
Yeah. He was just over. I actually met. We were walking back from a Liverpool match.
I left to Lime Street.
I was just on the board.
His brother sounds like you'd expect them to.
Yeah. Everybody thinks we look the same. I'm just much larger than him.
Yeah.
Right.
So they think he's very gay, and then I'm just morbidly obese.
I see, because he was next to you, I felt he was very straight.
Oh, he does musical theater.
Why are you getting so many gay? I'm not getting many gay vibes off him.
Really?
Is this,
Fuck you.
I feel like this is you, Rob.
Yes.
Are you kind of...
Maybe you're threatened. Maybe you're attracted
like
to me.
A Canadian, that's it.
I think you're attracted to me.
Maybe all Canadians are gay.
Do you get a little bit of a semi when someone says a boot?
No, listen.
Okay.
Also,
you
married?
just stop.
Yes.
Like, hold on. Like, come on.
Okay, wait. A boot.
Look at the mannerisms.
A boot. Wait. A boot. That's from South Park. You know the show South Park?
Yes.
So they say Canadians go boot. No, how's it going, bud? Like nobody. Maybe somebody like way up north would talk like that. That's equivalent. Like, does everybody think people from Somerset talk like that?
Yes.
See, which they don't always all talk like that, right?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah,
Never mind. Never mind.
They do, Kevin.
All right, my lad.
Go wander around an Asda or Asda's down there.
Asda. Where's the R in there? Asda.
Oh, there's about 6.
I remember one of them called me lovely when I went there on
All right, my lover.
student trip, and I was
You're right, my lover.
hard on for days.
Paris now.
Oh, yes.
My lover.
Yeah.
No, I came in, so I've only been here about 5 months. So I came in, it was one of my first sets at hot water, and you're sat there on your phone on the chair thinking that you're a king. And I was talking.
Just because the chair's like a throne doesn't mean I think I'm a king.
Well, you were looking down on us, even though you were sitting.
Oh, yeah, I was definitely doing that.
Yeah, judging. And I came in, and I was very nervous. Fucking Billy no mates. I still have no friends. And first thing you say, I was like, oh yeah, I did a little acting when I was younger, and you're like, yeah, you're gay, right?
Cheat.
No, I never said you're gay. You said everyone thinks I'm gay.
Oh, and then
I
you
said, oh yeah, I 100% assumed you were gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you look like a pedophile, but I didn't say it.
I am.
Well, there you go. Or a nonce, as you say here. I love that word. It's fantastic. Sorry we got to that right away.
It didn't take long, really, did it?
Yeah.
If actually all of us could pass for that.
Somebody mention wanking now before the 10-minute mark, or we have to start again. So how long have you been doing stand-up?
Still quite new to it. I used to do, and you're going to fucking groan at this, I used to do improv and sketch when I was younger.
Okay, Chris, so when did you start your career?
I think Chris has also done improv.
Oh, yes, I have.
That's my brother. That's my brother. Him and I had a
Okay, well, this has been a great episode.
Yes, and...
Support the podcast. Sounds the Patreon.
Oh, jeez. It's one of those questions that people ask. They don't tend to ask you how long you've been going when you're doing a weekend gig at one of the clubs. If you're doing a gig where there's an open spot or someone who's new, or new material night, there's all these folk who come in full of excitement and go, how long have you been going? And I tell them, and I say, here we go.
Makes you feel terrible,
I've been going 22 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they have that awkward pause where they go,
you're shit.
Whatever going means.
Yeah. I mean, 22 years ago, last May, I had my first gig. And they have that awkward pause where they kind of look at you and go, should I commiserate? There's that. I did a gig in Derbyshire the other day, and I was closing it. One of the other acts said, how long have you been going? And I told him, and he looked at me as if to say, and you're still doing this place? Oh, I'm sorry.
The worst thing that I had when I did some sketch stuff. So I think improv's probably the worst. Sketch isn't as bad because I really wanted to be on SNL and stuff when I was younger. You guys know SNL? Yeah. That was like one of my dreams growing up. And I did a sketch tour all across Ontario with my buddy, and it was really, really successful. And then we went to this small little town, and the guy's like, you're going to sell it out, no problem. Like, you'll sell it out. There's 300 seats here. People will come see it. 4 people came to this huge theater. And then at the end, this guy came in pajamas, and he walked up. He's like, listen, bud, just keep at it. You got something. You got something. I was
Who
like,
is that guy?
It's just some random audience member, yeah.
In pajamas?
Yeah, in pajamas. It was in a small... and the 4 tickets...
I respect him being like, I'm not dressing for this shit.
Yeah, the 4 tickets were radio, free tickets from the radio.
So whereabouts? Where was that?
A place called Sudbury.
Sudbury. Whereabouts is that
So Sudbury is about 6 hours up from Toronto. So you're getting close to like the native kind of native reserves and everything up there.
Is it close to Newfoundland, or is that too
no?
far
Newfoundland is way
west?
That's right on the edge. That's only a 4-hour flight from the UK to Newfoundland.
Because that's a big thing that we get over here.
Really?
I mean, everywhere that in this country, if you drive for 6 hours in any direction, you're pretty much in the water. From the middle. Yeah. And the thing about Canadian...
the complaints you guys ever... Oh, it's the next town over, can't be asked. I'm like, it's 10 minutes. In Canada, you have to drive... Like, my dad used to drive 2.5 hours to work every day. Yeah. And it was nothing. And the map, it looked like it was like nothing.
I barely leave the Northwest for gigs because I can't be... I have a 100-mile rule.
2.5 hours one way.
Yep. And that's very normal. That's not even like, whoa, he's a champion. Like, that's like... so you would live...
To this day...
He's dead now, pal.
No, to this day. No, 2.5. Was somebody driving 2.5 hours?
Well, so the housing
happening today in Canada?
The housing crisis is insane. You guys think it's expensive here? It's like times 10 in Canada. It's nuts. So if you're living outside of the city, you'd live 2 hours away, and you'd still get a house for 600,000 Canadian, and it wouldn't even be nice. And you drive into Toronto for work. So people would get up at 4 in the morning,
God,
and come in. And then you guys get I get people messaging me for shows. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing one in Huddersfield, but it's like, yeah, but I'm in Halifax. Can you come over there? I'm like, just fucking walk to Huddersfield. It's right there. Well, I like to stay in my bubble.
Traveling for 5 hours. Every day, Monday to Friday.
A lot of sadness in Canada. And imagine
isn't a developing nation.
No, and you'd go to bed in the wintertime. You'd go to bed, and
Africans who walk less for water.
I know. You'd go to bed and there'd be 3 foot of snow in the morning, and you're driving in insane. You'd be driving to work and there's cars and ditches. Like, you'd probably know of all this stuff. Montreal's even worse. The snow in Montreal is crazy.
Yeah. I have memories, even though I left when I was young, of snow, and I was 4 or 5 years old, but snow in the backyard that was like, you could cut a maze in it. I think my dad actually did. He did a little maze out the snow in the back garden.
You'd wake up 4 foot, and that's not even
Alice and June Smith said about that when Danny went over. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. But the cold here, I realized today as well, the heat here and the cold here is very different to Canada. Because the heat here, it hurts you. Canada, it's like kind of nice and it's like, oh, it's a little too warm. And then the cold in Canada, you're like, oh, well, my eyelashes are frozen shut. Here, it's like in your kidneys and in your bones. The cold weather here, it's
you get cold and wet
together
here. Whereas Canada goes straight
dry.
You've got seasons in Canada.
Yeah.
But over here, I mean, it's kind of because we're not used to anything other than that median temperature of about 15 to 18 degrees.
Yeah.
Anything above or below that, and the country's fucked.
Yes,
but people were wearing winter coats in August here. I'm like, what are you guys doing? What's happened? Very weird.
That's just because we want to wear the winter coat now.
Yeah.
You're desperately
That's a fashion choice, that.
You're definitely going I want to put my big coat on, but it's not cold enough yet. I don't want to wait till the middle of November.
Oh,
you have
God.
psychopaths like me who just wear this in December as well.
Usually I'm like you, but this is this weather, this is gross. This hurts me. It's in my kidneys. It's fucked.
But you're used to minus 38.
But it's dry. I don't know if you've ever been in dry cold where it'll hurt your you'll go out, your snot will freeze and your eyes will freeze, but it's dry. But here it's exactly that. It's the wet, it literally feels in your bones. It's mine this. It's 8 degrees out. In Canada, I would be like that in minus 15, no problem.
Yeah.
But here it's I'm freezing.
That's why January's so miserable over here, because it doesn't go cold and snow and it just goes grey and wet, and you wake up on January the 1st with your hangover and just go, well, 31 days. This is it.
It's the darkness that's so miserable. Going to work when it's dark and coming home when it's dark.
When I got here in June,
I haven't seen sun today.
Yeah, in June, I got here June 1st, and it was there was 2 weeks here in June that was fantastic. The first 2 weeks, I'm like, this is great, and then it was just dead gray. It felt like Sleepy Hollow. You ever seen that movie? Sleepy Hollow. It's dead. Oh, and I was I'm so depressed, and everybody's just hammered. Well, there you go.
That's why we drink, though.
Yeah. So
welcome. You've acclimatized
yes,
now.
I feel like I am.
Have you both got dual citizenship?
Not really. No.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I have my British passport now. Yeah. No, I don't. I drink maybe 5 times a year, and when I do, it's I go nuts. Because I'm already very obese.
Yeah,
so I don't want to hurt myself more. Huh?
Is yours food, is it?
It's
a nice passive-aggressive touch there.
Sorry, it's just a joke.
Is mine food? No, it's water. No, it's chocolate.
Chocolate?
Oh, my God, it's bad.
Oh, yeah, you're a sweet man, sweet tooth.
You could give me a buffet or a...
So gay.
What? How is chocolate gay?
Ooh, I love some chocolate.
Women have more of a
I hate this podcast.
It's very feminine.
I'm getting abused.
Kevin.
I like the fact that we've already started delving into urban legends and old wives' tales about this. If you like this, you're probably a homosexual. Well, we had liking the Spice Girls, liking sweets or chocolate.
I'm very comfortable with my sexuality. I think you have a deep root. There's something there. I think this guy's got.
Oh, mate,
look at him giggling.
I'll go anyway.
No, not me.
I'm a slut when I go to the gay club. I'll go anyway. What? So yours is chocolate.
Yeah, you could offer me a full-on buffet or a mountain of twirl bars, and I would.
Really?
And but I could eat it. You think I'll eat a few bars. I could ruin. I don't know how I still have my legs. I should be very diabetic.
How many twirls, 2-finger twirls, can you get through? I'll go to shop. Can I go to shop?
Okay, if I'm
buy
in one sit
50 twirls.
If I'm having a binge between us girls, genuinely, I could easily eat probably 12 bars. No problem.
24 fingers
with that, and the only reason I'm stopping is I'm getting flavor fatigue.
Oh,
That's
so you're not
it.
sick. You're not feeling sick.
No. Then maybe an hour later, I'm I hate myself, and then my eyes are crossed because I have so much sugar.
12's a lot. I'd vary it up.
McDonald's, if I get a double cheeseburger with fries, I'm full. I'm done.
Yeah.
Which is so weird. Yet I can go and eat that amount of chocolate, which is insane.
It fills you up a bit later. That's chocolate's poisonous because you eat it so quick.
Yeah.
And it's only when your brain registers it's too late because you've gone, I've nailed.
And you hate yourself.
So much.
Yeah.
So I have that with the Gillian chocolates, or however you pronounce them.
Yeah.
So that's not gay.
Yeah.
That's not gay.
Seashells, yeah.
The Gillian chocolate, the fancy chocolate.
He's middle class.
The Gillian. Yeah. I can nail, red wine, nail, and then I'll be like,
red wine on top of it?
Yeah. And then all that, and then I'll feel sick after about an hour. But at the time, I love this.
It's
fantastic.
fantastic.
It's just one of those things that it's not even about how many. if there was an infinite supply of twirls, do you think you just become this perpetual machine where you just keep going until they're gone?
Yeah, I'd be like Bruce from Matilda, you know, where they're like, eat the big cake, but it would be like just, and keep bringing them in. And it would be like.
If it's in front of you, then you just can eat them.
I don't like crisps. You can have an open bag of crisps in front of me. I don't eat them.
See, I'm more savoury than sweet, I reckon.
Pizza, don't really like pizza. I'm the weirdest fat guy.
So just twirls, just
not genuinely twirls.
Just twirl. You're the one who said twirls. You never even said twirls.
You said twirls.
So how did you get them in Canada? Were they smuggled in? Were they contraband?
I switched my thing.
I've got vision that you shoving twirls up your arse. You just can't get enough twirls.
My mum
cooking them into the vein.
My mum would come so she'd be in Ireland, right? So she would come over every 6 months, and I didn't even care about seeing her. I'm like, "Where's the bag of chocolate that you brought over?"
Right.
Like I was like ripping out of her bag.
Our chocolate better than theirs?
Then in Ireland? No, Irish chocolate's the best. Canadian chocolate tastes like plastic. It's gross.
Yeah, I've heard that about America and Australia with like chocolate back because theirs is shit. Yeah. Just to stop it melting, is it that they have stuff in it? Oh, I don't know.
It's that, and they don't put like milk in it, and I think there's like different health regulations that you guys don't have, which is weird because everybody in Canada and America's fat. So why are you guys
just savoring it big?
Yeah,
well, it's everything in the States has corn syrup in it. So much corn syrup, and that's a staple. But we don't really have that here because we don't have fuck tons of corn growing.
Do you know, instead of like losing weight and actually trying to like better myself, there was a point during lockdown, I was like, okay, you know what? I probably have diabetes, or I'm probably pre-diabetic. Let me just check so I can still enjoy chocolate. I walked, which is surprising, to like 10 minutes down to what would be considered Boots here. It's called Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada. And I bought a diabetic kit to test my blood sugar. And I would test it. And I'm like, yep, 5. Still good. Still eat chocolate. Instead of being like, this is an issue. Like, I'm taking my blood. 29.
See, I wouldn't do the test.
Yeah, well, you're probably not well.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Well, that's fine. Why is everybody here just like okay with that?
As long as nothing's falling off or falling out.
Are you ever afraid of like having a massive heart attack in your sleep?
No. Just got to go at some point, haven't you?
Something's got to kill you.
What a great way to live.
Yeah, I don't understand people who are scared of death. Myself.
It is. You can lose yourself worrying about death. You can't go, well, you've got to just put it to the back of your mind because otherwise you cripple yourself.
Yeah.
That's
constantly
very philosophical of you.
So have a twirl.
Have a twirl. Relax and have a twirl.
Got to understand you're speaking to 2 alcoholics as well. So
yeah.
Are you guys alcoholics?
Yeah, probably.
What is considered alcoholic here? Because in Canada, it's like, you have 2 drinks a night.
What about chocolate buttons?
You said
fire.
You said when you drank.
Yeah. Chocolate buttons. I could eat chocolate buttons for days.
My nipples are so hard right now.
Well, Kevin.
What is considered like heavy drinking here?
Well, when you said you drink 5 times a year, maybe, and when you do, you go heavy. What do you consider going heavy?
Well, I don't go down. Like I'd stay up. Well, I have a period. I have a period of like
what amount do you drink?
It's like I could easily I would finish a 26 a 26er of rum and then beers and stuff like that. Like that's like I'm going in.
So that's a Tuesday.
Okay, well that's an issue.
I'll do a bottle of whiskey on a Tuesday.
Full.
Just
like a small one or
so
big
like
one?
Last night I had 3.5 bottles of wine.
Are you sad?
Probably.
Yeah.
If we do.
Did you have some Gielan shells to go with it? That's the difference.
Right, can we just agree on how are we pronouncing Gillian on it?
Can we agree? I've been called gay since I've gone in here. Both of them love wine, love fancy chocolates. They definitely together, like 100%. And I'm the issue.
We don't talk after pod.
It's not gay. It's like rugby tour gay, isn't it? It's banter
and stuff.
It doesn't count.
You suck my sack.
I'm having a bottle of red for banter on a Wednesday.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Pinot banter, mate.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say these naughty words on this podcast? Or
naughty words?
Pinot.
Pedo. Oh, you're saying Pinot.
Pinot.
I thought you were saying pedo
like
banter.
Pinot Grigio.
You can't say the P word on here, though.
Oh, I thought you were saying pedo banter.
You can say pedo. What's
Pedo Grigio is a very different.
That's a staple of our comedy circuit. Is pedo nonce?
Listen to this.
Smith's got a McLaren from calling people a nonce.
Listen to this. This is insane. So I've learned about this nonce word since I've been here, and I think it's fantastic. So I do
the word or
both. I do a bit in my set where I do a call back to a joke, and I call a guy a nonce.
Imagine if you never heard of paedophilia and you just didn't know what it was.
That'd be wild. But I call a guy a nonce, and then I get the whole audience chanting, "Nonce in the front row. We got a nonce in the front row," and everybody chants along. And it's usually the bit is about how people in the UK love chanting, whatever it is they chant, right? So I get them saying that, and it usually does really, really well. And this one guy, I was at a club, and he was kind of a dick. He was heckling people. So I'm like, I gotta fucking get this guy. So I say it. And his face does this, and then it goes like really aggressive, and I was like, oh God. And then I do another callback to calling him a nonce again, so I'm like, I have to do it again. So I said it, and his face got fucking like that, and I'm like, oh God. So I finished, went off, thought it was fine. Everybody said it went great. The next day I get an email from the club and said, you need to print this and put this on your wall. It's hilarious. This guy's mum sent a email into the club and said, you had a comedian who humiliated and abused my autistic son.
What club was this?
Yes.
Club?
It was called. Well, it's not really a club. It's called Disorder. I was doing like I was doing a thing, with Aaron.
Manchester.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God. And so I got really mad, and my wife's like, you need to just figure. I'm like, no, I see people on this fucking circuit calling people way worse than that. And I'm fucking chanting, being silly, and people are ripping into people, and I'm in trouble now. And my wife's like, you can't be known as a new guy picking on autistic kids, calling them pedophiles. And I'm like, so I sent an email back to the mom. Yeah.
What's he say in the email back?
I told her to go fuck herself. No, just joking. I genuinely, I felt bad. Obviously, he was autistic. I didn't know that. So I said, hey, I'm really sorry. And she wrote something back. This is anticlimactic. She was like, thank you so much for saying that. And I was like, just letting you know, for your son, he was in his 40s as well. I was like,
a badge or something.
Yeah, I was like, for your son, just make sure if he's going to comedy shows, maybe don't have him sit in the front row if he's by himself, because you're going to get targeted, especially if you're saying shit. Like, you're going to get targeted and heckled at and heckled back and things fired back at you, right? So that's been great. So now every time...
How long have you been going? Sorry, 2 years?
Yeah, stand-up, I'd say probably about 2 years, yeah.
You did it in Canada and all that?
Nobody found me funny in Canada, actually. So I would do little bits, but during the pandemic, I started doing stuff on TikTok and Instagram and everything.
Was you in Canada bigger over here on social media?
What do you mean?
So, because obviously you got a decent social media presence on TikTok, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Was you? Yeah. You're like, what's your TikTok following?
No, it's like just a bit over 400,000 on TikTok. Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't mean anything.
Are they
3,000 Instagram followers then, basically?
And sorry?
It's like 3,000 Instagram followers.
40,000, thank you very much. But actually,
40,000 IG?
Since I've been here, it's taken off. Actually, pretty cool.
Okay,
was you bigger over here when you were in Canada on social media? Because Evan Desmarais, whatever, fucking there's another nonce. Is social media is always, it's just always going to Canadians. So we get to, like everywhere I speak to about it, he gets a comment, he's like, all my clips keep getting seen by North Americans loads. And it's like, but I'm over here and I need it to be over here. Was yours all getting seen over here? Did you notice a large British following?
Well, that's why I moved here but I got a lot of expats when I was in North America that were like, nobody believes I was Canadian because I would do all the different accents and stuff like that. But I realized numbers don't mean anything here. People put this insane idea of numbers mean this, they mean that. Realistically, you need to have like, especially on Instagram, you'll sell more tickets, but you need a really big, like intense following to get tickets sold. Here, the reason because I've had quite a few viral videos, I get noticed a lot here, but nobody knows. I'm just, you're that Canadian guy who does the accents. Nobody knows my name. Nobody knows, like I get stopped. That makes me sound like I'm bragging, but I get noticed a lot here.
Do you?
Yeah, yesterday I was in I get noticed a lot. Like that makes me sound like such a shit. But nobody know. They go, "You're the Canadian guy." I'll get some person go, "Oh, you're Kevin." So I'll get it a few times, right?
Wow.
At that Liverpool game, I got noticed a few times as well. That we were at, which is cool. But it's because I'll have big viral video hits. Like I'm not doing. Like I'm going to start a podcast soon. If you get a podcast following, like Have a Word, they're selling out because it's like they're like they're listening to 2 hours of you talking, right? Whereas me, it's a 60-second video. They go, that's really funny. They'll share it to all their friends. But yeah, I found here my Instagram, I gained probably 20 or 30,000 followers since I've been here in the 5 months because I've had a few really big viral videos that went off. But again, I'm so self-conscious about it. I don't base myself off I don't walk into a room and go, hi guys, so these are my credentials. Or
because that's because when you're on stage you die, so you look like a dickhead.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you could do it. You could sell out some rooms, couldn't
No,
you?
see that. Yes, but I haven't tried because I want to be so good that people keep coming back.
Yeah,
right?
you don't want to rush that. No.
Yeah, so I could potentially, like, I get people asking me when I'm going on tour, I get messages and stuff like that, which I'm so grateful for, but I would never want to short myself or somebody else.
Yeah,
right?
that's interesting because we're in the other position where like we could do the tour, but we ain't got the following, whereas you've got the following, so you're ready to.
Yeah.
So I think you can just go, you could just do 10 spots for nothing and get good that way.
Well, and that's why I think I've been, since I've been here, I've been very, very grateful. People have been giving me, and this is the issue. Door open, but I have to do well when I'm there, right? And I think I've been doing well. Like, jokes aside,
got to open some way, hasn't it?
Yeah, but jokes aside, like, I feel like I don't tell my followers where I'm performing because I don't want, one, I don't want to make a tit of myself, and two, I don't want them going, oh, I don't want a false sense of like I'm fantastic because my followers are there. I want to actually be on level playing field with everybody else. So
there's a few comics doing that now though that have popped up on bills that they won't advertise. That Jack Skipper, who's massive.
Yeah.
He's been low key just going around.
But again, though, he's another new comic. He's like,
that's what I mean. He's just trying to get Abby Clark, another one who's turned up at gigs that you wouldn't know the one at.
Have we had? Has there been a run of folk? I feel like there was a generation of folk who got some notoriety on TikTok, and then went brilliant and just jumped straight into doing tours and immediately found out it's a different world.
Yeah.
So
I've seen some.
That's second tour as well, isn't it?
I've seen a lot of people, even in Canada and America, and a few here, that'll have way more following than me, and they die on their ass because there's a much different thing than this to being on the stage, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I give it a lot of respect.
Tom Nestor, he was at the Hutchie going in London. I was speaking to him. He's another one that's got the following there. But he's just starting to get starting him again, like a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
And I think he did a gig actually where they got all TikTok stars to go and do it and see if they could transfer it to live. And he says it wasn't the best live show.
I don't want to be known as a TikTok comic. I don't want to be known as an internet comic at all. Like, as much as the minute I can stop doing it, I will, because, and it's I'm so grateful. It's a great outlet when I wasn't performing, and even now, like, I've neglected it a little bit since I've been here because I've been lucky enough to be performing a lot here.
Yeah.
But I don't take it lightly, and I don't go into a route like numbers. They don't mean people that don't have a following think that means you're this big person if you have this it genuinely
also
doesn't.
The people that are following have sometimes never necessarily even seen live stand-up. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing.
I think that's why that's sort of lucky though, some TikTok stars, because there's no barometer to what they're going to see. Something.
Like some of the ones at Hutchie's probably have never been to stand-up.
Yeah.
And even though he's so concentrated on podcasts and stand-up, some will never have been to see like live stand-up. It's a bit mad.
Yeah.
What was, when you do, because you done the wrestling tours.
That's it. Yeah.
Did they have many? Do you have a thing like that where people hadn't been to a live show like that before? They only.
It's
because they went. Was this? So it was Mick Foley. Was others as well?
Yeah, Mick Foley was the first one.
Did you meet him?
Oh yeah, I've worked with him.
Is he a lovely dude? I was crazy wrestling fan when I was younger.
He is everything you would hope he would be.
Yes, he seems like it as well.
He's delightful. He is in Liverpool next weekend. This coming weekend, he's at a Comic-Con. I don't know when this is going out. Whether this is
it'll be Sunday, early Monday.
He's
Tuesday,
just been in Liverpool.
There you go. Tuesday.
But yeah, he's. I'll talk to you about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mick Foley. This is how social media was back in the day.
Yeah.
He had just got on Twitter. I had just started on Twitter at the advice of someone on a radio show who said, yeah, go and promote yourself. And he was over here doing a book tour with, I think it's 4th or 5th or 7th. He's had a lot of books. And I just tweeted him and I said, at Real Mick Foley, while you're over here, because he started doing stand-up, do you want to do a stand-up gig? Figuring, I'll find a place.
Yeah.
And I just thought nothing of it, went to bed, woke up in the middle of the night by a boo, you have Mick Foley has followed you on Twitter. I went, I don't know what that means.
Class that.
Boo, Real Mick Foley has sent you a DM on Twitter. I went, what's a DM? And look,
just his
and he was
penis.
like, email me. And I was like, and again, some footage missing, not with so much yet. And then one thing led to another, and then we ended up doing a tour with him in the UK in like 2011, went all over the place. And yeah, you get a lot of folk who haven't, and I think that's kind of how it is now. It's like a little in the snapshot into the future. People will go and see what they want to see specifically.
Yeah.
So I feel like club gigs are not necessarily for them. So you get, I'd never done anything like it. I didn't know how these gigs were going to be. I didn't know if they were going to work. So my first thing was immediately, I'm going to get my mates in who love comedy. So I got Jim Smallman and Billy Kirkwood and Sam Avery and lots of other people to do support spots.
We love wrestling.
Oh yeah, all these people who we chatted. There's a lot of us out there. You know, we have the little secret handshake. So we, I like your shirt, and we start talking. And I genuinely thought it was going to suck for us as support acts. Like when you go and see a band, and the band goes, and the support band goes, "This is our last song," and everyone goes, "Yay! Fuck off! We're here to see."
Cactus
whomever."
Jack, I'd never done stand-up before, though, had he?
I know he'd done some in the States.
Oh, had he? Yeah.
So
okay.
so he'd done a bit, and I didn't know how good it was going to be. I knew we could talk, but to be honest, if I'm brutally honest, didn't care how good it was going to be. I knew it was going to be good enough for what we were doing. And
he's an entertainer. So
he is.
regardless
He is.
of what-
He's been doing it a lot longer than I have, right? And then it just sold really well. But also, what you get is, because they knew that the people supporting and hosting were also fans, we could make the jokes about the stuff we care about, that it felt like a social club.
Right.
And they were the sweetest gigs you could ever do.
Nice.
Sam Avery, a wrestling fan.
Yeah, have I outed him? Is that a secret?
Is he?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Small,
Well, this is your time as well, Rob.
Fine.
You can come out if you want as well. We're all coming out here.
Oh,
Let him know.
I didn't mind it when I was in year 6.
I really loved
Everyone's got a story.
love these
Everyone's got a story about
Stone
one or
Cold,
two.
The Rock, Kurt Angle,
Yeah,
that
the
era.
Shawn-
Triple H,
Shawn
that
Michaels.
No,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels a bit before.
HBK.
Yeah.
All these guys. Everyone's got, but Mick's great. And then I went on to do like
Scotty
ones with
Too Hotty.
DDP, William Regal.
Wow.
The Roddy Piper was a long fortnight.
I've heard he's a bit of a...
He's a lovely man. I mean, fortunately,
Is he still alive?
No, he
Thought he
passed
died.
away a year later after the tour.
R.I.P. What's it? Rowdy Roddy
Rowdy
Piper?
Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Rippy Roddy. Oof,
Jake the Snake.
JR.
Jake the Snake. Did you watch that documentary?
I
He
did.
was fucked,
I did.
man.
He's
He
not
was-
allowed in the UK. Otherwise, we'd have done something with him.
Well, yeah, he was like heroin,
what did Jake-
everything. He went off the rails and
crack is a
Yeah,
hell of a
yeah.
drug.
Why was he not allowed in the UK?
There's because he used to when no one in the US would book him, he got lots of bookings in the UK on a company called All Star would book him to go around all the town halls here, and I don't know for sure. So not hashtag
Probably
not legal
true.
advice.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, apparently,
Yeah.
there are some issues around the fact that he had a snake that he would travel with. Because you can't go to town and go, yes, can I use the house snake? Do you have a
like a Somerset
on your
Can I
rider?
find a snake here?
Right, who's got a
I was like,
snake?
then my arms, love.
Yeah,
It's in the Astor.
Yeah, all the way around Canada going, only snakes a boot. You know, that's the thing. So, and there was issues around how he looked after it and cruelty and
Right.
and I don't know for sure. So apparently there were some outstanding legal issues. So he did what everyone does in these situations and fucked off.
Yeah.
And now he can't come back until those are resolved.
So what would you have all done to just 'cause he mistreated the snake?
Well, how he treated himself, if he treated himself that way, the snake probably got put up people's asses.
To be
he
fair,
was
the
just
snake
Can't
may
even
have developed
mistreat a snake these days.
massive drug problem just from a contact
I don't know
high.
why you all wanted to kick his head in.
Sorry, what?
Why did you all want to kick his head in?
Did I mention that?
I didn't,
You did.
Did
He
I?
said,
No.
he said something like, if he'd have come over here, we'd have done stuff.
No, we'd have to
No,
have
no.
settled.
Are you
They're
drunk right
legal
now?
issues, not
Oh.
vigilante
I
legal
don't- yeah, I don't
issues.
know
Not
what you're on about.
we're not all waiting at the
Said too much red wine and Guillene.
Right, so he illegal. So that what would have happened? What? Because he was drugs.
I don't know.
What
for
was he
sure.
drugs?
I don't
What
know
was that
for
sentence
sure.
just there?
I think.
I don't know.
I think
Basically,
they're trying to. I think
there are warrants for
possibly
him
animal
here.
abuse.
What they're for, I can't say. I don't know exactly.
Yes.
But if he gets
Yeah.
here,
What's the lawyer jargon? I
Probably,
can't- I'm-
probably,
I'm not. I'm not.
What are the
limited to
alleged
say.
cases that
probably
you think Jake the
burning
Snake
the
could catch?
British flag. I mean, you want me to guess? You know,
I do that every morning.
Apparently, Mick Foley is the highest earner ever on Cameo. And have you ever looked at? You know what Cameo is?
Yeah.
Have you looked at his stuff? He seems. That's why I wanted to know how he is. He seems so lovely. Like every one of his Cameo videos, he does like 15 minutes. Which usually people are like, "Hi, my name is this. Yeah, happy birthday."
How much
this
is
guy
he
does
charging them?
it's
like
it's-
$25, like nothing.
He's figured it out because a lot of the folk on Cameo charge a fuck ton because they don't want to do it. It's fuck
Yeah.
off
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
And then when they get it, it's like, right, I'm in my car between
Yeah.
shopping.
He
Whatever.
seems like he genuinely cares.
He
yeah.
does, but he's and fortunately, that genuine bit of his personality, he's also realised is a good business. It's a USP.
Yeah.
So
Which this is what scares me here, and I've even since I've been here, and I'm not going to name names. Genuinely, I'm not. people that I've met here that I was really excited to meet. And people that I haven't met that I'm nervous to meet. You know the way they say don't meet your heroes and stuff like that?
Kevin,
it's really...
I'm sorry I called you gay, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you're my hero. But you hear about that. I've even heard about some comics, like big comics here, that you meet them and they're really not nice people. But there's the other side of things, and this is making me sound like I'm trying to compare myself, which I'm not. There's days where I'm having a really shit day and I'm out walking with my wife, and somebody will be like, oh, you're Kevin from TikTok. And you have to kind of go, hi, yeah, I'm in fucking sweatpants, like mustard stain, like just like miserable. So you take it with a grain of salt, those things. But like you hear about some of these big comics that, or not even comics, actors and all that are fucking awful people. But I wonder what it's like trying to have dinner and somebody coming over to you.
Well, you get that every single day. And also with comedians, I'm going to make a prediction that everyone here has one thing in common, and it's not to do with fame. Someone finds out you're a comedian. What is the first thing they say to you?
Tell us a joke.
Tell us a joke.
I thought you were going to say suicidal.
Okay.
Everyone
comes up to you and says, you look suicidal. Like, oh, well, good. Yeah, fair. It's always there.
I'd kill myself if I was doing what he was doing.
Yeah. But then imagine being famous, because the people, it's the kind of people who say, oh, we got thrown out for laughing.
Yeah.
People, if you walk up to someone and you go, hi, nice to meet you, can I get a photo, can I get this, you're probably going to be okay most days. It's the ones who don't say hello and go, oh, hey, tell us a joke. Or imagine pick one bit of your material each in your head. Imagine that you spent your entire day having someone you don't know walk up and scream the punchline in your face.
I was in the pictures with my 3-year-old son. And someone said to me, and one of the ushers goes to me, I fucking love that eating arse bit you've got, And I'm like, just like looking at me son going, cheers for this. But
you probably loved it. You loved it.
It's like,
yeah, right.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I was made up. But
fist bump your kid after. Fucking did he that?
Was it busy? Was there any context for people around you? Other parents going...
No, but that's what I say to me, it's just dead weird. That lad just like, big fan, loved that eating arse bit you did. And they're like...
Yeah. Do you guys think, because you're all stand-ups, right? Like, mainly stand-up. Do you think for stand-up, funny is funny, or do you think there has to be? Because I know there's a lot of comics here that I know really are obsessed with American-style comedy, of like that, like, let me tell you, set up, punchline, bump, which I think is great. Mine's very... Have you seen me perform?
Yeah.
Mine's very... It's kind of a mix of... So I know some probably comics would say I'm more of just acting and not really saying jokes, which could potentially be that. But do you guys think funny is funny, or do you think it needs obviously, to an extent, we don't want to be hack where you're doing whatever. But do you know what I'm trying to say here? Like, do you think
I hate that.
Do you think there's a rule on what is
hack? I hate that as well. I'm just trying to fit in with you guys. I think that word used to kill me in Canada because everybody said it all the time. Oh, it's hack, it's hack. I think that's so stupid.
Oh, hack's just I see hack as just another word for lazy.
Yes, but also no. Like, I've seen some people tell a fart joke and it fucking kills me, and I'm like, that's hack realistically, but it's so funny.
But
I get what you're saying, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that's hack. It depends on what to do. It's like, the whole like the saying like, oh, then I got off the bus, and I said to that woman, Mum. That sort of thing. It's like it's the easy sort of dead obvious thing. That with me, my rule is, if I think someone in the pub can make that joke, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
because I think you're paying to see a professional. So,
but that idea, and I've since I've been here, I hear it all the time. They're like, I was at the mall and I was at the shops and they said, "Go fuck yourself," and I said, "Oh, Nan, come on," like that stuff. But I have heard some people say that where it's like it's a funny turn on it. And I'm like, it could be still hack, but it was like the way they said it or how they said it.
Yeah, but that's cadence and stuff like that. But then I'm thinking that's what's making me laugh, not what to say.
Yeah.
I would still think to myself, it's lazy sort of thing.
What's your guys' take?
Well, this is the thing. I think everyone goes through that phase where I think everyone goes through little growing phases as you get into stand-up. One is the bit where you go, I need to be as edgy as possible. I need to be as dark as possible. And then there's the bit, and it feels like once you get to a certain level, people stop caring about that. But there's that sort of, just as you sort of knew where there's that, it's a bit hack, it's hack. And to me, that often feels like, it's like when you're playing to the other people in the dressing room.
Playing the comics,
as opposed to you hit a point where if it's your stuff, there's no hack topics, there's no hack subjects.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
If you've got your take on it and you've got it and it's yours, do it, you know?
Yeah, I agree there's no hack topics and no hack subjects. I do think there's lazy ways to get a laugh, though. Like I say, like that whole, and then I said, Mum, and it's like, it's an easy reveal. If I just make this person my mum, I know I'm going to get a laugh here. I was like, you could probably make, because what that's probably started as is a funny situation that's happened to you, and then you've gotten lazy with your writing because you haven't found a way to make it work quick enough for your liking. Whereas I just think if you're stuck with it, if you're a decent comedian, then if you're playing professional gigs, you will be a decent comedian, whether people like to say it or not, is you will eventually make that work another way. So why cheapen what you're doing? Just sit it back and come back to it. I think sometimes people are so desperate to get there sort of thing that they don't just get, like, some jokes take months. Some jokes take
for example, even saying that mum thing, like I heard a comic the other night did that exact thing, and I was sat there quickly thinking, I'm like, okay, I've heard so many people, and even it's always mum.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, even if he said like Father Healy or something like that, like, even I know it's still in the same realm of like hack or whatever, but there was some, I'm like, that could, because the way he set it up that it's like, okay, the mum thing, why would a mum say that? But it would be much funnier if a doctor said that, or if something, like, it's still in that realm, and I think that's like another step. But I agree. I think the hack thing,
we're very, because we spend far too much time around comedians and comedy than is healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing,
you know?
you say all the
and
time,
if someone's coming to watch comedy once a year or twice a year, or because they like the wrestler that you managed to blag off of Twitter, or if they like Jamie, because Jamie's obviously Jamie, and he's a powerhouse, and he's original as fuck. But audiences, we're a little oversensitive, I think, to this.
100%.
We see and hear so much of it that we get a little bit, we get in our heads. And I think there's probably some good stuff here that we've kind of gone, no, and it would work. And it wouldn't necessarily be lazy, but we're just so sensitive to it.
What's your take on people being a comics comic? Do you know by that? Like, so, like, where somebody is brilliant, but they're brilliant to other comics, but maybe some audiences are like, do you respect, like, would you want to be a comics comic, or would you want to be somebody that, like, in my head, if everybody hated me, I would hate it, because I'm a people pleaser.
One of my famous quotes, Kevin, is you play the comics, I'll play the crowd, and we'll see how we get on.
Look at him.
Just, said to Red Redmond in 2006, I think. No, but my thing, and that wasn't a shot at Red. It was just like, it was literally who I said it to as we were coming up.
It's on a blue plaque where he used to live, where the
the Crown Hotel is. My thing, well, it depends, because if you're talking about comics who don't progress after 20 years and aren't getting paid money for it, but every comic still finds them hilarious. To me, it depends. It depends on them. If they're just happy being a hobbyist, and fine, like, making other comics laugh and dying or straight to the oars all the time, then fair play. But as a comic, as myself, sort of thing, I can't sort of respect it in that sense.
What about, this is for all you guys, sorry to cut you off there, but would you rather be a comics comic where other comics are like, this guy's brilliant, his writing's fantastic, or would you rather be a comic that comics think is hack, and this guy's whatever, but he's able to sell out rooms?
What? Give me the money, baby.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, but there's, because you have to respect the craft in some point, because it's an art form.
But there's no way of getting to there without respecting the craft. You can be a hack, but you can't be, like Chris just said, we're so sensitive and so involved in it that you can't be hack without being that. Because the only way you can be hack is to know all them things.
I've managed to hit that sweet spot where all my peers think I'm a hack and I can't sell shit. So that's good fun. But I had a bit that I did for years that when I say other comics, I say some other comics would basically say to my face, I hate that bit that you do. I think you should stop doing it.
Like, why? But why? Like, matter. What does that? No, I'm just saying, what does that do for anyone?
Yeah.
Just because they hated the bit.
Oh yeah, they hated the bit, and they hated and also because some bookers think like punters rather than bookers. I had a couple of people when they booked me said, I'll book you, can you not do this bit? And it wasn't controversial. It wasn't edgy.
Did it work with the audience?
Oh, it 99 times out of 100, it killed.
that's so insane.
And it was
It was very
silly.
racist.
Oh, it was hugely racist. The Belgians, I can't even go back there anymore. Where am I going to get my Gillians from now if I can't go back to Belgium? Guyane, I think it was. I seem to remember an advert. Look it up on YouTube. But yeah, Guyane.
Why are you saying it like an island man? Gillian.
Yeah.
When they get me my Gillian.
The advert is Gillian. It's like that's everything. Go on.
The premise of this controversial piece of material, it all started on a road trip where I said, here's a game, take the word dance out of things, replace it with wank.
Oh, I remember it, yeah.
That was it. And I tried it on stage and it got a good reaction, but then it became a bit of material where I knew how to build it and it built and it built. I had little throwaway gags along the way.
Yeah.
But it became hack in some people's eyes.
Yeah.
Did they become hack because other people started ripping it?
No, not at all. No one else was doing it. It's the same kind of vitriol that's reserved for anyone with a gimmick, if it's a musical act or certain types of act.
Get it. You'll get people saying to you, it's just accents.
I've had somebody say it to my face on stage. So I've already had it, and it fucked me up for a while.
On stage?
Yes.
What, an MC?
Yes.
I know who that is, but yeah.
You probably do. Anyways, so I won't talk about it because it fucked me up. And I was like, I was questioning everything. And then I realized, I'm like, no, I'm getting booked in these places. I'm doing this stuff. Audience are being very reactive to things.
Who are these comics that are going
unhappy people?
Can you not do that bit? That's just
just think. I've been here 5 months, right?
So leave someone to do what they do.
In my head, when I go on a show, I'm like, I want to kill it because I know when you go on, you'll fucking even more.
Well,
so we're doing that, right? So what's this?
If I knew you were doing that bit, at no point would I think I don't want to do that bit. I think I want to do that bit the best they can because when I go on, I'm going to fucking nail it with my stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't care what you do.
I did a thing, Jamie Hutchinson. I was so happy he did it. So I do this thing where I was doing it. It's like this very obscure song from the 60s. It's very like camp. Like it's called Happiness Runs. And it's like I get the girls singing Happiness Runs, Happiness Runs. And I get the guys going la, 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 la. And I get them singing it together. And I do like this sassy in between. And it gets them all going and ready. And then Jamie came on after.
Can you just wipe that? I knew it. Look off your face, Rob, all the way through sassiness and sing along and they're going, fucking I told you. Fucking told you.
That is literally that. We'll have people going.
Just going.
You can see Rob. Every time Kev goes sassy, see Rob going. But I'm the problem for calling you gay.
But Jamie came on and he goes, enough of that fucking singing. I'm talking about dead babies now. And I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
Because he's not cutting me. He's not being nasty. He's going.
Oh, no, he is.
But I know Jamie's fantastic. But like, I love that because that's playing. I want that. I'm fucking weird energy on stage. I want somebody come on. Okay, so that was fucking stupid. It's like, what are you doing? You've already lost the audience there because the audience went, well, I had fun with that. Why are you saying that that's shit?
I had it where it was a major, fairly big week, especially because we're all so beset by this imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And I do more emceeing than I do
syndrome,
sets. So when I do get sets, I'm a bit in my head about it. And I had a gig at a weekend club Friday night. It went really well. Not just the closing bit, but everything seemed to land. You know, when the crowd are with you and you're in flow and everything's going great. And when I came off, the MC went back on and kind of told the crowd off.
For enjoying it?
For enjoying it. And went, I thought you'd stop doing that. Well, never mind. I suppose we go. Years ago.
Any normal audience member would go, fuck that guy.
But that's the thing. Also,
any normal audience
trouble
member.
you have there, if the MC's good and has them on side, they kind of, the MC is like their eyes and ears on stage. So they kind of have their trust. But for me,
sort of thing,
what was mad was in my head, I went from this, like, it's rare that you get a buzz off a gig once you've been going for a while. But I came off stage going, I got this. This is ace. This is brilliant. I feel like things are going places. And immediately it flipped and I had to go for a walk because I was psychotically violent in my head at that point.
What a fuck.
And I had to walk away.
I was violent. I needed a walk.
Yeah.
I needed a walk.
No.
That's gay.
Like literally.
I'm going for a walk.
Going for a walk. I'm going to go outside, pick up a young man. No.
Someone came and screamed a bit at you.
And they never found his body. They never found his body. But yeah,
I get what you're saying.
But literally, I had to walk away because it was if I'd said something, I'd have done something.
Yeah.
And when you're in a club that you haven't played before, and you don't want to go after someone who is establishment there because so I had to go calm down. Saturday kind of sucked because I wasn't.
You're in your
really
head,
there.
yeah.
But
And that's what happened after that thing happened to me recently. I didn't feel present on stage. I'm sure all of us have gone through this where you're saying your bits and you're like, I feel like I'm literally there. And you're going through the it's not your board or your material. You're kind of like, what is going on? And almost you're kind of in your head and you kind of go wide-eyed on some things. You're like, what the fuck? Like it's messing up your flow, right? So that's where one thing I would say to any new comics, if they are watching it, this is one of the best advice I got, genuinely. We're all very hard on ourselves, right? So after a show, say if you think you did well, or maybe you didn't do that well, and an audience member comes up to you and says, you were fantastic, and you go, and I'm sure all of us have done this, I don't know, I kind of did that. You're convincing the audience member their opinion of you was wrong. And then they start going, oh, maybe he was shit. So literally just, even if you're like, that was a shit show, you go, thank you so much. I'm not trying to say it to you guys. You guys know what's going on, but thank you so much, and go home and just complain to your partner or whoever it is, your gay lover. Big theme of gay in this this podcast.
Yeah, I'd say it's good advice. That
yeah. I'm not trying.
Come off and say you've smashed it, even though you've died.
Well, not say
everyone
smash.
Goes, he maybe has smashed it. Then.
Yeah, that's what I've probably been doing.
Yeah.
Smashed it. That smashed it.
Absolutely leveled that, and then it goes. And
no, you didn't.
Then they go, actually, has he?
But people do that.
Yeah.
I love when people do that, and I'm like, was I at the same show?
9 times out of 10, the people in the green room aren't fucking listening or watching. So if you come back and just go, level that,
They
as
were
long as it wasn't
fucking
stone cold death, they probably won't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a to throw back to Mick Foley. He had that. You get that same thing with wrestlers, who would come back into the locker room afterwards, and they go, "What was the crowd like? Were they booing? Were they cheering?" Say, "Oh, better. I got that silent heat. No one made any noise while I was out there. They were that into it.
Yeah.
They were so into it. They were all talking amongst themselves and looking at their phones."
Oh, I wish I had that. My imposter syndrome. I heard you say you don't have imposter syndrome. No. Mine's rampant. Mine's like, I could go. We all have a standard of ourselves. I can go and do what people would think is good, and I'm like, that was the worst show ever. Like I've heard you talk before shows. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill it. I'm like, where's this guy? Have you just always had that?
No.
Every show,
So
my asshole was like,
I was like, wasn't great in school and stuff. Didn't have like, just like felt a little bit alone and stuff like that. Had all that sort of imposter syndrome and that in school, sort of thing. And then come out of school, had a little bit of time, like the summer between leaving school, going to college and stuff.
Yeah.
Had a big sort of like fake it till you make it. What the fuck's going on? And then from there, just like I had a moment click when I was about 17 of like, this all just doesn't matter.
yeah,
And everything you're worrying about, look around. You got plenty of mates. You got like, you're either trying to please the wrong people, or you're in your own head over something that doesn't matter. And then ever since then, I've literally just been fine.
it's true. But the audience wants you to be good. I don't know why we're in our head going. Well, some of them don't, but
Have you been to Wigan?
I have not yet. I would like to think same thing. Like I've done a bit of acting and stuff back in Canada. The casting directors want you to be good because they don't want to go, oh fuck. We all know if your ass tightens up on stage and you're like, oh, the audience feels that, and they go, this guy's uncertain,
exactly,
right? So they want you to. They're paying, nothing to come see you, right? It's a free show.
Yeah, but like you say, no one's going out to have a bad time.
No, I know. So why are we? Why am I in my head going, I'm going to fuck this up and I'm shit. I'm going to be terrible.
But the thing is, it's you can also. You can not be for an audience, and you can find a way. You got to find a way to make yourself more for that audience, sort of thing.
I feel like you'd be really good in London.
You feel like what? You'd be really good in London.
You would be really good in London.
I smashed London, but London's full of shit comics.
Actually,
London, yeah, the standard in London's so shit. So like, when you go down from the north, it's like fucking shooting fish.
I've only went there.
Something different. A lot of comics talking about the same stuff.
I went there.
You're putting a nice spin on it. Oh, shite. Right, and because I'm from the north, I smash it in the north. Going down there, it's just a piece of piss.
I went down there a few months ago.
Yeah, different voice.
I did all the gong shows just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Those are fucked. Those are insane. I did
those won't help the imposter syndrome.
No, they did. Yeah, I did the Comedy Store gong. I did the Up the Creek, and I did the what is it called? Backyard gong shows, and they were just like,
didn't know they had the gong.
I didn't know that gong.
Yeah, it's like it's a strange. Yeah, it was a
you
strange
get a gong.
gong.
You get a gong. You get a gong.
Have got a gong.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was wild. It was very different.
You wouldn't beat the Fog for World Series final, aren't you?
Lucky enough, yes. I'm very happy. Yeah,
I named that.
Did you?
There's your bit of trivia for the day. Beat the Frog World Series final. The first year it happened, back in 2003.
Talk about stealing your thunder.
Yeah, that's fine. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I was a finalist in the very first one, 2003.
What year was City Life? You won City Life, didn't you?
Did I fuck? No, I got to the final and it was a shit show. Again, because Steve Bennett of Chortle came to review me the night before, tore me a new arsehole, and then I was
I've heard some things about this guy. I don't even know who he is, but I've heard some. Nobody kind of is like, this guy's fun.
Blogger.
Yeah.
Is he funny? Like,
nah, he's a blogger.
To do stand-up.
Again, like Chris says, in our world, if he feels massive, and until like you get past the whole starting out stage and like you realize, no one gives a fuck about him.
So he might write some. He'll be at the World Series final.
I don't
Possibly.
He might be.
He doesn't travel north that a lot, so like he won't go to everyone. For some random reason, he'll be there one year.
I got
not be there
reviewed
the
twice
next
in 2 days by him in 2 finals, Sunday and a Monday.
That's what's happening. I'm doing the World Series, the breakthrough act of the year at Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm doing the.
I had the same one. I just got nailed by him.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be as well.
You named it. Go on, what were you saying?
Yeah, it was called Best of British the first time it happened.
Right.
Yeah. And then the next year they went, well, we can't call it Best of British because we've got people from outside Britain in it. And I happened to be in a car with Lee Martin. We're driving somewhere. I said, we'll just call it the World Series. Like in America, they call the baseball the World Series.
Yeah.
And they went, yeah, that'll do. And now you're in the final. When is it?
20 years later.
On the 6th, of the Monday, on the November 6th. Yeah, so the 5th.
To lose that.
So you were in the final as well, wasn't you?
Yeah.
That's 4 Beat the Frog World Series finalists sitting here.
How did you guys do in it?
Panel prize, mate.
Absolutely nothing. You could hear a glass fall down every step.
You shit the bed?
Winner did it nasty.
Average.
The winner was meant to go on first, but his flight was delayed, so he ended up getting rearranged to go on first after the first break.
Oh, that's handy. Let me tell you about Best of British final.
I went on first.
The death spot. Oh man, when you turn up at a competition and go, thanks very much. So,
I think I was first.
As a gimmick for that first year at the Frog, they got a special guest MC.
Okay.
Johnny Vegas. Are you familiar with Johnny Vegas?
Yeah,
Johnny Vegas, right? Who, if you've seen him live, I got to see him live a lot when I was young. Amazing, chaotic. He was going through a breakup. His marriage had ended, right? He was shit-faced. He was drunk.
Wow.
There were, I think, either 10 or 11 acts on. He was doing 20 minutes between each act. And the Frog, when I say full, that's not just a figure of speech. There was nowhere to stand.
Was he killing it?
Well, we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone had come to see him.
Yeah.
No one gave a shit about any of us. And it was not 20 good minutes. It was just... And I think
just
I wasn't first, but I wished I was, because I think I went on in the last section. I think I was after the second break. It was 11:15 when I walked on that stage, and no one cared. There was no life in that room at all.
How did they decide the winner on a first?
Oh man, I can't remember. I think anyone who hadn't given up and thrown themselves off the balcony. It was audience vote. So
it's always been audience vote.
The 1, 2, and 3 were the 3 in the second section.
That's what happened. So the one I did just 2 weeks ago, I was on second. So at that point, I'm like, oh, this is already fucking mountain, because they're still kind of cold, and you're forgotten by the time you get. It's an hour and a half by the time it's the decisions, right? So I did it, and it went well. And then this girl went on, and she's fantastic. She's in the final. Her name's Alex. She went last, and there was she was like genuine. I would recommend anybody to book her. She's great. But there was this table of 40 lesbians who all worked for Brazzers, the porn company.
Whoa!
And they were on like some sort. They were
production staff.
Yeah, they were all lesbian. I don't know.
It's a big difference.
She went on
for the production aspect of porn,
but she went on, and so she did all like feminist stuff, and it was genuine. It was very, very good. But it was like crack cocaine. Everything. She got like 8 applause breaks, and I was like, what? Because they were hammered as well. So she got the biggest cheer of the night. But luckily, I went through with somebody else. It was me and another guy, Connor, who's fantastic as well, and I squeaked through. So I don't know. Part of me wants to go first, because if I win first, that's a huge accomplishment. But then my ego says like, I want to go last because I want to do well and go last. And
first after the break's the sweet spot.
Is it? Yeah.
I'd say second after the break.
Right.
Or just going into the break. that first break.
Yeah.
No, I think they've had the break, they've had the refresh, they've been outside, fresh air. The other act's gone on, they've reset themselves to what the game is. Second on, boom.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be tingles.
Did either of you guys do the British Comedian of the Year at any point?
Sort of, yeah. So I did a Heat and Bury got through. Heat in London came second, which was meant to be going through, and then Alan Anderson decided that it wasn't going through second anymore. So after you've been told you're through into the final, he decided, no, it's second as wild card. And we're going to choose the wild cards out of everyone else. All of it. And basically what it was I've done this competition. Loads of people have gone for it, but loads of people have been newer. And he was like, I don't want this to be a new act competition. I want it to be. So he just basically got rid of anyone who he didn't really know, and then banged in professionals, whether they'd won the night or not. Because obviously now I know him, and I always give him shit for saying, you fucking stole me. You replaced me with so-and-so who's fucking shite. I said, and all that. And then, because the person who I was on with in the same heat went on and won it. And we got I think he beat me by 2 points. So it was so I was saying, you fuck off. I should have been in Australia that year, you rat, and all that. But
I applied for that. I was half asleep. It was like 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, I saw the deadline's coming up. I'll apply for it. Applied for it so stupidly. I recorded this really nice dude's set. He was a new comic a month before at a Gong show. Yeah. A brown man. Recorded his set. Half asleep. I uploaded his set onto my YouTube and sent it in as Kevin Finn. So I sent this brown man, I don't know what his name was, in as Kevin Finn. Obviously didn't hear anything back, so didn't get that. But,
you can blame racism now.
Yeah, that's true.
You can blame the man.
Yeah, I felt it.
Are we talking about the same British Comedian of the Year, though, the Alan Anderson one? Or are you on about the 10 grand one? That's
the 10 grand one. It was,
I was talking about the one where Alan Anderson took you to Australia, if you won.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That lasted 3 years, I think.
Yeah, no, I just coming out of lockdown, and I had nothing in the diary, and I went, right, I'll apply for this. I just want gigs. I want to be on stage. And I got booked for, where was it? Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
So Scarborough, Scarborough, which is merely 3 hours away in your terms.
Nice.
And drove out there for a competition, and 5 minutes is 5 to 10 minutes is fuck all. Once you've been going for a while, it's basically hello.
Yeah,
you've been great.
Yeah, that's what we say. That competition lends itself for newer acts to do better because that's all they've got.
Yeah. So I got there after and had a very pleasant day at Scarborough. Just wandering on the beach, had some fish and chips, and sort of went in, and they'd already drawn the running order. I was first. I was like, well, fuck my life. At least I get to go home.
Yeah. What happened to your beat the Frog World? So you got to the finals and you went second, you said?
No, I got first? So the Beat the Frog one, I was meant to be on second, but the guy who won it flight was delayed, so I went on first.
In the World Series, like the finals,
got the judges prize.
There's 3 different ones. It's you win it, right?
Judge, and then what's the fucking third one? Oh, second place, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. And is there any
first, second, then judge?
Is there any substantial, like, other than winning? Like, if you get second or third, is there any?
It's just if you go. It
used to be a weekend.
It used to be a weekend.
Yeah.
And then like 100 quid or 200 quid, and then I think just it's the stats that they've just gone. These aren't ready for a weekend now. So it's now just become like you get a bit of money, and then you'll get. Depends on what level you are and that.
Have you seen people who have not won it from being in the finals and having the people watching them go, oh, this guy's good, and we're going to put him on something?
It's just a go. It doesn't mean anything.
Not the not to beat the Frog World Series. I've seen it in other competitions.
But say if I don't win it, and for some reason the owners and stuff see me and go, oh, this guy has something, is that a potential to...
Yeah, they'll give you a 10 on a
I think that's potential for anyone, any competition, really.
It's just the ego saying, I won it, right? Realistically, it doesn't
no
really
one's
mean...
asked. I can't tell you one, man. I haven't got a fucking clue.
Do you know what's interesting? I think every generation of comedian is born. Every year there's the one comic on the circuit at new act nights or new act competitions where you turn up and you see this name and you go, well, we're fucked. We're all fighting for second. Yeah. And what's interesting then, like Sam Gore was the guy one year, like a few years after my generation.
Mentioned many times on this podcast. The guy.
Won everything.
Pete Phillips and Sam Gore, they're all getting the same.
Yeah. And he won everything, and then immediately an agent goes, I'll have them, and then they're expected to do 20-minute sets on a weekend, and it's too much pressure. And some people rise to it. Some people can't, and then it just fucks you up.
Yeah. That's difficult going from a 5, even a 10, and then being like, okay, you got to do 20 right now.
They wouldn't do
You
it
quickly
now.
realise no one's arse after a while. Like.
They wouldn't do it now. They wouldn't have the unless the winner was special, or he's like someone who's been going 8 years and he's just come over to it. Like they wouldn't put someone who's beat the flog and put them on.
But you are in the Islands, I think. So like when Dan Teenan won it 2 years ago, was he? Or last year,
what it will get you is it'll get you a lot more 10 spots on pro bills. That's what you'll get from it. People will go, oh, he won that, he must be half decent. Put
and
him
then
on
you
for
do
10.
well at 10 spots, that's when you get in the pay. That's when you next get.
So you go into Alexander's or Manford's or something, they'll give you a 10 for.
I've been lucky. I've been getting into those already, which
so
is
they'll
great.
give you
So
yes, if you're already in with them.
Yeah.
It's that for a lot of people.
It's just an ego thing for me, I think.
For
That's
a lot
what
of people,
it
it's
is.
just some people will see your name a bit.
Yeah.
People follow the Fog and Bucket and they go, this is the winner. They go, oh, him, we'll book him for a 10.
I think it's just to realistically these competitions and stuff, as much as it's practice and stuff, this sounds very lame, to prove to myself that I'm good in a weird way. I think that's what it is.
I think what you also get, because you're still very, very new to doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And when you're new, you don't necessarily have that breadth of experience.
Yeah.
So every gig either feels like a triumph or a tragedy. It either feels like the best night of your life or the worst.
Yeah.
Whereas once you've been going 20 years or even a bit longer, you get a bit more perspective on it.
Yeah.
So you can some gigs are just okay.
And I think I built that foundation with the sketch and improv stuff, which is
How long
great.
was you doing that for?
I actually went to school when I was 18 and a half. Wait, 6 and a half. 18 and a half. I went to school in Canada in a program called Comedy and Writing Program, which is insane that there's an actual thing.
Yeah.
College. And it was a 2-year program.
Yeah,
and
Desmond done the same thing.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I went to that, and then I was very insecure, so that's why I would do improv and stuff to, I think, hide behind a group, and you know, if I wasn't doing well, you kind of go back. And then sketches was kind of more into that. So on and off for probably about 8-9 years.
Right.
So it wasn't like
stagecraft then.
Yeah, so I think I built that. So I get what you're saying. I think I still have that, but not as bad, because I've had bad sketch shows, I've had bad improv shows, but it's still, because the standard I want to put, I moved my wife over here for comedy. So this isn't like a little like, we'll see what happens.
So
like
Warrington
this is,
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Did she ever say, or did she just fall asleep in her bed over there and then one day?
I honestly, I said to her, I'm like, listen.
No, she's in IKEA.
Yeah. I was like, I want to move there. Canada's not doing anything for me. I was like, if you say no, I'll still love you, but I'm still probably going to be back and forth. And she was like, no. She actually, before she met me, she loved McFly and stuff. She loved all
You
of
not
it.
got kids.
Huh?
You not got kids.
No, not yet. We're hoping in the next year or two. I'm getting crazy baby fever.
We're gonna uproot them as well.
But yeah, she's been, and luckily I'm very
working
grateful.
over here?
Yeah, she's just applied for. She's a swim instructor for babies. So she's there. I'm very lucky that I have that support system, because I think before I would.
I could get her a job if she wants a job. Shout
out Mrs. Finn.
Yeah, but like she'd have to travel to Liverpool for it.
That's fine. Not that far. But that's,
you say it's not that far to Canadians, but for me, traveling to Warrington for a job.
But
barely do that for a gig.
No, it's that thing. I think we all went through it when you first started. You'd do a gig, and if it was bad, you'd literally be like, I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, not only was that shit, I'm just shit at everything. I would be so bad it would take me a week to get over that. Now I'm kind of like, oh, fuck it, whatever. You know, you go on to the next one. In Canada, it was so few and far between in sets, so I would do a set. I would shit the bed, and I wouldn't do one for 3 months. So for 3 months, I'm like, I'm garbage. And then I would get on and be like, hello.
It's like you're starting again from scratch every single time.
Yeah. And now if I go a week without gigging, you almost get those jitters when you go back, like, oh, fuck. Like, which is not, it's nice in a interesting, weird way. So, yeah. Way to kill the conversation.
I'm dead behind the eyes.
Yeah, I've realized. Have you fallen asleep the past half an hour?
A little bit, yeah.
Were we boring you here?
No, you're not. I'm like listening to you. New comics. I like the idea that the Beat the Fog thing. That's nice.
What about? What about what? What's?
Or that you care about it.
It's not that. Well, I care about every gig
when you're doing it.
It is like when you do it, it means everything.
But it does. But it does. And I've been talking myself off a ledge, because I've been very lucky since I've been here. Well, the poor pavement. I've been thinking about it, and I've been very lucky since I've been here. I've been getting like full on like paid good spots since I've been here already. So everything means a lot to me. And as I said, moving over from Canada, like this isn't just a thing that it's like, oh, whatever, I'll just do it next year, which it should be. I need to have more patience with it, but it's like I've moved my wife here.
Yeah, there's a very real presence of like, we're here for this. So
so sometimes I put a bit too much pressure on myself, and it can even throw me for some gigs because I really want to do well and be successful. Like it's not that I don't want to make friends or anything, but it's like this isn't like a social thing to me. Like all of us take it very serious, right? But
you have to have an element of not caring now. Just a tiny little bit of seasoning of I can't care too much.
I've learned that in the past 2 weeks, and it's been magic.
Yeah,
it's been very, because it's
you've got to be free, haven't you? And that, like you say, that little season gives you the freedom to go, I'm going to try this.
And any of you guys, when you have that, you do so much better because it's your natural state of like,
sometimes a good state of mind is to go, when you turn up at a gig that you know, like you think is quite far away.
Yeah.
It might not be the busiest, and you think, well, I'm not too concerned if I'm never coming back here.
Yeah.
And you go up there, the room's got about 15 people in, they're spaced out, the night's been a bit ropey, and you go, I've got to do 30 in this room. And you get up there and you go, you know what? I've travelled too far for this gig. I'm not getting paid that much. But then you go up there, and because you're just so loose, it's like it's actually fun.
It's fantastic.
And you're like, I've had a good gig there because you've got, I don't care if I'm back.
That actually just happened to me recently because I had a run of like gigs that are like like I was in pretty big clubs that I was doing, and everyone felt like, oh my fucking God, I can't believe already I got here. this is too much. Like I felt like almost like I don't feel like I should, imposter syndrome massively. And then I did a gig with 6 people. I had a fucking blast. I had that where I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like being stupid, being silly, and it was fantastic. And I want to take those in to the bigger gigs because I'm so much better when I'm like that. I have so much more fun. It's those ones that you're kind of like, oh, and then I'm seeing comics because I've been watching the scene for the past 2 years before moving here. So I'm seeing the comics, I'm seeing you guys, I'm going, oh fuck, I've seen this guy. So I wouldn't say it's intimidation, but it's kind of like okay, I've seen that guy, he does really well. I need to fucking make sure I'm at a certain level. So it's an interesting, it's a mind game that you have to learn, right? I've
got a similar thing because my thing's different from, I'm so in with hot water.
Yeah.
That I feel free there to do what I want.
Yeah.
Like I'm never when I'm on that stage, I'm never thinking I'm never getting booked here again.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it doesn't matter what I do here, I'll be back here tomorrow. Like, so, and then that's dead free. And then you can go and then if you go and take risks there and you smash it there, and then you go to other clubs thinking, well, I just smashed it at the biggest club in the country.
But hot water is
so why wouldn't I do it somewhere else, sort of thing?
Hot water is a cheat code, man. Hot water is like literally, you can be kind of good there and kill it. Like hot water is it's so.
But what I mean is like,
I'm not diminishing what you're saying at all. But what I've noticed now, like it's absolutely the most, like if you were to die and go to heaven, that would be a club that you'd want to play in. It's like a heavenly gig. You can even do half-ass, like, and it's like, oh, they're with you. The amount of the false sense of security. I've done a show there and I'm like, I'm literally ready for Wembley. And then I go the next gig, I'm like, oh, I'm shit. I'm real shit.
You get paid as a professional to be able to handle the horrid gig.
Exactly. And
then everyone goes, oh, why is he doing that? Well, stick him in a room that's horrid. And he'll still be able to do a decent job.
Exactly.
And that's when you'll get paid properly.
Yeah. Is Frog and Bucket kind of slightly parallel to how hot water is? Like the audiences are like it's one of those gigs that are like
it can go
so long that it's up and down.
Like even on a Friday, Saturday, like you can get some.
It can be gotta be on them. Do you know what I mean? Like if you give them a minute, sometimes you won't get to beat the Frog. But Friday, Saturday, it's central Manchester. People are drinking.
Yeah,
it can be a dead nice gig.
Yeah,
and it can be lovely. But then there is always. But that's with any club. There's always one group. There's always one group, or there's 2 people in that want to do something. It only takes that much to ruin a gig.
Well, the Frog had a reputation for being brutal.
Really?
It's because
over the years it's been up and down.
Weekend clubs, you never know what you're going to get. You're rolling the dice, but it had a particular reputation for being a rough club, because for a while the people running it didn't really care about whether the comedy was going well. They just wanted people in
sales,
drinking. Thursdays at the Frog were the most schizophrenic night in comedy, especially if you're there doing a 10-minute as a tryout. For your 20 quid on a Thursday with one eye on
the
you
weekends,
want to kick the shit out of it so you can get a weekend. I have had one of the best gigs of my life on a Thursday at the Frog, where every you couldn't put a foot wrong, and they would carry you out on their shoulders. And the only time I've ever thrown up before a gig was on a Thursday at the Frog.
Really?
And I've had both ends of the scale, because it can be amazing or it can be just
They're a bit more coupley, aren't
brutal.
they? Thursday, they're a bit more reserved, a bit more. They're not as raucous. So if you're smashing it, it's.
That's the theory.
I think. No, go ahead.
Sometimes they have people who want to have a staff night out, but they don't want to pay Friday prices.
You want to be cheap,
so you can go in on
staff.
that was the night that was that sucked a bag of dicks. Was you had, and we're talking a decent sized bag of dicks, like one of those Sports Direct ones or IKEA bag, like all the dicks in a bag. And it was because there were like 80 people in, and 65 of them were from this one group, and none of them wanted to be there.
Yeah,
that's the key.
I found a bit of a
Mick
cheat
Ferry
code.
died that night. That's how bad the room is.
I found a bit of a cheat code what I do, and it's really helped for myself and for the audiences. So if they're really low energy, it works, and if they're really high energy, it does even better. I do and this is probably a lot of comics think it's hack. I start off with the Freddie Mercury. I go, hey oh, and I get them singing back and forth, and they're up. They're like, hey, this guy's either shit or he has way too much confidence and he's shit. But it releases those guys who, I want to fucking say something. It's like, it gets rid of that energy. Yeah. So it's like, okay. So it kind of, it resets it. So if you're getting some that are like, I'm kind of on, and there's been a few times that it's gone like, fuck off. And I'm like, all right, okay. But I do that off the top. But then right away, I'm self-deprecating.
Well, so hack. Yeah, everyone's doing that shit now. Of course not. You've got a USP. Yeah. Do your thing.
Yeah.
And because no one else can really pull that off.
I disagree. It's hackers for.
You're just a tramp. Oh, last quick question. Well, not last question. You guys are running the podcast. Last before I wrap it up. What's your take on shelf life for material? Say if it's doing really well. I'm in a moment now in Hot Water where they've posted one of my things.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. No one's watched it. No one's going to watch it.
It got 5 million views on the Hot Waters thing.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
And I'm not saying that as in a brag. That, like, in my head, I'm going, that's all of their super fans have seen it.
Don't worry about it.
Nah.
Because I was in my head last week. I was there, and I did, and I was like, they've all heard this before.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's so weird now with TikTok. Yeah. The way it's going and stuff. People want you to do the bits. So people are seeing it on the... It's like musicians. People are seeing it on the phone. And it used to be in comedy that if you ever done the same bit, people are like, oh, he's got no jokes. Whereas now people are seeing it on the phones in a live setting and going, oh, I want to go and see them do that.
Also got a question for you. So if there's a comic that you really like, you don't get... You sometimes sit and watch them even as they're out going, oh, he's going to do this bit. Can't wait. Yeah. You know, I've got loads of people.
It's like a movie as well. I've watched Austin Powers 8 million times, and I'm like ready for the
what
like those
I find
things.
horrible is when I'm sat there and I know an acts so well because I've done it, and I'll be going, I know in about 7 seconds he's going to say a word and they're going to make a noise, and I'm like, that's weird. So I'll be there backstage, I'll be hearing me mate do a bit, and I'll be going like, and he's going to say that bit, and then they're going to make a laugh. Yeah. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah. But what about for comics? Do you guys, is there a shelf life for comics that you're like, oh, this guy's doing the same shit after a year? Or is it kind of like, no, he's still working?
I think it all depends on the individual.
Yeah.
The individual, and then it's also, can you see the comic enjoying it?
Yeah,
because like we've had Steve Harris on our podcast loads, and like compliments I give him, which some comics wouldn't like as a compliment, but he takes it as a mentor. He is the best I've ever seen performing old material. So
it's a skill,
he'll have a bit that he's been doing for 15 years, and every night he performs like it's brand new.
Shanna's is good. Shanna's
like it's brand new, and it's like they're still enjoying doing it, and they're still selling it like they're enjoying it. And do whatever you fucking want.
I think it comes from the improv brain and the sketch brain of like it has to be new all the time. Which is
it depends on you though as well, because like there's times when you just get bored of your own bits.
Because I'm having a blast doing. I do a whole bit about Scouse Pingu and stuff, and I'm still loving it. But it was that last weekend at Hot Water. I think I was in my head. I'm like, oh fuck, they heard it, because when I said Scouse, it didn't get near the reaction that usually does. So immediately I was like, they've all heard it.
Breadth of experience again, because sometimes it's nothing to do, because we all internalize. It's that different rooms, different days, different energies, different experiences. Yeah. But because you cannot see in their heads or control that, you immediately go, this is my doing.
Yeah.
And
it's a God complex. We all think we're so important, but nobody honestly gives a shit.
Yeah, that's another thing to remember, is that audience do not give a single fuck about whatever it is you're saying. They'll laugh for a bit of that 20 and they're like, yeah. I go, do you know anything he said? Not a clue. Do you know his name? Not a clue. Do you care? No. I've got shit going on.
I'm going home for a Gillian, man.
Oh, mate,
Gillian.
Mate, you were great. I was like, you were amazing. Like, I'll get in. Yeah. And you go, didn't follow me, no.
Yeah. No. Couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah. How many times have you watched someone, thought they were really funny, and then come off and go, I thought that was brilliant. I can't remember any of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. It's so true, yeah.
A lot of it is early onset dementia, and a lot of it is connected to my incontinence. But we all do that.
Yeah, I just like to ask because I've seen some people that'll do the same stuff for multiple years, and I'm always trying to come up with new stuff, and I don't want, especially like I got really stressed when I first came here. There's a few people that were coming to a few of my shows following and saying, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's going to see the same shit.
It's a bank. You got a bank of it.
Yeah.
You got 80 minutes, you got 70 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And some guy goes on and does 10 minutes of bits that you do. You go, well, I can't use that now. So you just got to get another bit out. And then you have to say it again, no one cares. Yeah. No one cares. So you'll just go, that will be fine.
Yeah.
That will get a fine reaction. Might not be what you want to do, but some guy might have mentioned something else. So if I went on and mentioned Freddie Mercury, you go, well, probably just leave that now and go for something else.
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, I gigged with Nick Page.
I don't know any of these people.
Nick Page.
We're making the names
and
up
again,
as we go.
And I mean no disrespect. I literally know nobody.
Nick's fucking brilliant. Is he from Southwest?
He's Gloucestershire kind of way. Yeah.
He's got a child same age as mine.
Yeah.
So, and he was on before me every single gig, 8 gigs on the weekend, and it's like
that's good for you, man.
He's going to do every bit of the same.
Yeah.
Like
that's a good challenge
for you,
material.
It's not the same material, but it's the same sort of subject matter.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, I don't want to go on and be another straight white male who's come and go, oh yeah, my 3-year-old is my take on the same thing you just heard about. So you just like say, you get enough stuff in the bank where it's like, well, I'll just do them bits instead.
What is your guys' take on? Sorry, I keep throwing. I'll shut up. I'm sorry, I'm talking
You're
so
fine.
much.
Do we get to charge a consultation fee for this? Because it really feels. Yeah.
No, I just find it very interesting, and I like to ask a lot of comics.
Do you get bored of performing the same material?
No, I'm having a blast right now.
Well, then don't worry about it. Then,
yeah.
if you get bored of it, then write someone.
I'm so hyper aware and hyper worried about joke theft, all that stuff. So I actually genuinely don't even watch a lot of comedy. I should, but I don't because I don't want to. There's an actual word for it where it's like you subconsciously you heard it and you thought it up.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was terrible for that, and he would write checks to people and just go, "Here, I took your joke, but it was fantastic. There you go." And he would do. That's a very well known thing Robin Williams did. Yeah. But what's your take on people? For example, what was that?
R.I.P.
Him and Roddy up there together.
What's your take on somebody talking about? I know it's been done a million times, but like cues or. Drink culture, all that shit. That's been done, but it's different takes. Do you think right away, do you check out and you go, oh, fuck, this guy has nothing? Or is it like, oh, that's interesting that this person's thinking of it a different way?
Right. Audiences, we're back to this again. Yeah. Audiences don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And you're not
might check out, but we're not playing
to us. You know? And you've got one thing you've got in your advantage over here is the same way that if I go and gig in Canada, and when I did, I went and did... Oh, Jesus Christ, the Great Canadian Laugh-Off for Yuck Yucks. Another competition. Fuck me, that was an adventure.
Yeah, you're right. I'd be laughing if you started talking about Tim Hortons and shit.
Because
I'd be like,
because my experiences are different to yours. You're an outsider. You've got a different perspective.
Yeah.
So you bring that. And and to sort of come to the phase we all go through, everyone goes through a phase where we're obsessed with turnover.
Yeah.
And if you're obsessed with turning material over, you turn it over too fast, nothing grows, nothing develops, and you can throw shit out long before, because you'll do it on a gig and you go, oh, it didn't get what I wanted, so you turn it over.
Chuck it,
It's even finished,
Where you are, we've all been through this in some stage. You'll come through it the other side.
I don't really ever throw anything out. If I have an idea, it's there forever.
Oh, yeah.
And it might take 11 years.
Oh, yeah.
To pop out.
That's the other thing. You might find a new way to... It'll go, oh, that doesn't work.
Or another comic might go, I like that bit, you used to do it. And you go, what bit? And they go, that bit you did about that. And you go, really? And then you go, oh, I'll do it tonight.
It comes up,
4 years, and then a punchline just comes in. You go, oh, it's popped that.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I just love hearing... Because every comic is so different. And my favorite thing to ask in a green room is I go, oh, how long have you been doing it? They'll say it. And I go, do you still enjoy it? And the answers I get are so cool. It's like some people go, absolutely love it. I hate it right now. I used to hate it. I love it again. It's so cool to see that like ebbs and flows, like, and it happens. And just because maybe you're not really with it in that moment, it doesn't mean you don't love it anymore, right?
Sort of mentally unwell as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so unwell. Why do we do this?
If you went to everyone at any job, you went, how are you feeling today in work? They go, shite, hated it, I
true.
want to kill myself.
That's
And
true.
the next day they might go, actually, it's not too bad.
Imagine saying that to a Disney.
Every job.
Somebody works in Disney.
Comics don't think that special with it. Like, it's like any job you go, like, I
Well,
fucking
a
hated
Disney
it.
World actor. Or
Yeah, they
Anyone, it's a
definitely
job,
will.
innit?
fucking Mickey's head off. Fucking shite. Why do you scouts?
That's why I won't do cruises, because you got to be on 24/7.
Yeah, that's true.
Be arsed. Go and try and have me dinner. Someone's like, "Oh, you're great." You're like, oh,
Imagine you on a cruise.
leave me alone.
Fuck
will you?
off.
Yeah, fucking leave. You've had your bit. You've had your ounce of flesh. Fuck off.
Oh, that's
Ounce
good.
of flesh. That's not a lot of flesh. That's like it's like a
It's an ounce.
pinch of flesh.
Yeah, well, you're doing 365 days a year. You can't give it all away in
Can't
one
go
gig.
pounds at a time, can you?
Yeah, no.
Who was that gigging with? Who's just going on the cruises that I wasn't
A lot of
expecting?
folk are going on
Loads,
cruises
loads.
now.
Loads of them do at the moment.
Is it good pay to do that?
Apparently, it
Very
can
good.
be.
You'd
It can be.
smash a cruise as well.
I
Yeah.
feel like you'd go mental though. After is it
You're
like
only
6
on them for
weeks
like
at a time?
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, like 4 or 5 days.
Like a
All of
long
them?
weekend,
All of
basically.
them done it.
Okay, that's not bad.
Getting fucking
In Canada and America, they do cruises, and my brother actually did one, and he was on it for. Or it wasn't a
weeks.
cruise. It was on like a he would do a cruise going to Jamaica, and then they would go to somewhere else, and he was gone for like 5 months.
Wow,
Months.
fucking
that's a
Nuts.
big
Yeah.
Are you sure he didn't get sent down for something? It was just giving
He
you
probably
a reason
did,
to
yeah.
explain his
He
absence.
probably did. But
What's
yeah,
he do?
a
He's
weekend would.
He's a singer.
Musical theater. He's fantastic, but it's the same thing as like him and I. We have with the Irish Mother the internal. Look at him. Look at who does he think he is? That fucking shit.
Yeah.
So we are so like hardwired to be like, oh, I don't want to look big headed. I don't want to do that, which has now caused us to stunt some of our growth that we're may do. He's really bad with it. So he could be like I've said if he moved here, he would get on the West End shows no problem. Like he's really really good, and I don't say that. Like I'd tell him he's shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to lie about that, and he's a dickhead. So he would do fantastic, but he's kind of stuck in Canada. He doesn't have like he'll do commercial work and stuff in Canada, but he's musical theater. He's really really good, but it's that mentality. It's that fucking Irish. Just
Who the
be
fuck
seen.
think you
Yeah.
are?
Liverpool has that a lot as well.
I can't get my head around the fact that I always thought there was this unwritten rule that if there are two siblings,
Yeah.
one of them gets to be like us, and the other one has to kind of balance that. But you've got two who
But it's weird.
Yeah,
He's
but then
gone.
one straight, one's gay, so it's different rules, isn't it?
and it varies day by day.
It does hour by hour.
It's like hot desking,
But
sexuality.
it's
different
gone
rules
with my brother and I. It's gone like that. There was moments all through high school. He was like the brilliant, and then
Who's
it's
going
like
gay to the party tonight.
yeah. Now I'm in the season where I'm more gay, so it's just been,
Scissor, paper, stone for cock every single night.
Yeah. You be the gay one tonight. I'm tired.
But
It's
no,
your time tonight. It's your time to shine.
So do you don't wrestle anymore?
I don't. I never did. I trained for a little bit, for about
Right.
on and off for 2 years.
Are you mates with Cactus Jack, by the way?
Yeah,
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 genuinely.
yeah. I've got my WhatsApp.
Well, how many names has he got?
Well, legally one.
Yeah, which is
but he's
Dude
Mick
Perfect.
Foley, Michael
Right.
Foley.
or
Yeah.
dude love.
Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and
Mankind.
Mankind. Yeah, and then there were various.
Mankind was the best.
Oh, Mankind! For the
Somebody-
love of
What's
mankind.
it called?
Soccer.
Socko,
Rock and Sock Connection.
The
I am-
mandible claw.
I am-
The mandible claw.
Mandible Claw.
Yeah.
I am so pissed off,
The
right?
Rock and Sock
this
Connection. Oh, that
has
was
been buried.
my-
When we did the first tour, there was a skit at the end
Yeah.
where we without going to do it, we sent up the Karate Kid and the training scene,
Yeah.
and it ended with him being attacked by ninjas who would come on and he would give them the claw with the sock on it.
Oh yes.
And because I was emceeing and involved,
Yeah.
I didn't get to do it. Literally everyone else, even Billy Kirkwood, got to run in and take the mandible claw off of Mick on stage.
Who's your favourite wrestler of all time then?
Eddie Guerrero.
Is he?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I'd expect you to have some mad guy like from back in the day.
Oh,
That was awful
is
when he
quite a while
passed.
ago. He's been dead for like
Yeah, I know
nearly
he's been
20
dead for a
years.
while,
but he's
like
but he's you know,
Hogan or something.
smashing
like that
China.
era.
The charisma from
Nah,
Eddie
it
Guerrero
was-
was insane. That guy was magic.
The
Chavo.
yeah.
Chavo and
Remember that stupid one that I spit in your face where he'd take the athletes?
Carlito. Oh, here's a story. I've
Could you
had him
message
do
it?
that.
Yeah?
Spat
I've
on.
literally had that happen to me.
You've been spat on by Eddie
spot.
Guerrero?
Because not Eddie Guerrero. I wish I would. I wouldn't have washed wherever it landed. I would have had it tattooed on.
Can you imagine Eddie Guerrero being your favourite?
Carlito, right?
Yeah.
So, randomly, I was giving a friend of mine, a wrestler, a lift to a show in Grimsby because showbiz.
Yeah.
And Nick Aldis was running it.
Okay.
And Nick Aldis and Mickey James were there. Nick Aldis is now he's sort of bubbling under superstar. Carlito was the import. And he was wrestling my mate.
Yeah.
And I just said, if I'm giving you a lift, do you want a manager for the night? And he said, I'll ask Nick. And Nick, who knew me from doing stand-up and doing other stuff, said, yeah, come and be a manager. So I got to manage this guy against Carlito.
What does that entail, being a manager for the night?
It means cutting a promo beforehand to get talking to the crowd to get them investing against my guy and behind the hero, which they would have because he's been on TV for WWF.
Don't they already know that before they get there?
Well, yeah, but you kind of
building it up,
building, yeah, basically. And then I was part of what's known in wrestling as the cutoff. So which is where you sort of distract the good guy so the bad guy gets on top of him, and then I took my tie off and choked him with it while the rest back was turned.
Yeah.
And basically
Hornswoggle.
Yeah, exactly. That was me.
My favorite.
Sheamus had the Hornswoggle.
Finlay had him. And it got to the end of the match, and the finish was me jumping on the apron again, and Carlito had the apple, and he was going to turn, spit it in my face on the apron. My guy was going to come at me. He was going to dodge. The guy was going to hit me, and then Carlito rolled him up and pinned him.
Yeah.
But the guy of knowing you were going to be a manager.
Oh, yeah. We all knew this. It wasn't all surprise. We kind of knew the basics. It's like stand-up. You know the bits, but you don't know the bits in between until you're out there.
Yeah.
And I will say this. So I had Carlito spit apple in my face. And I'm going to say this.
You're
he
aroused.
is a professional. Well, a little. Professional. Because he spat, he got it all on my face, none on my clothing.
Wow.
That's an art.
How do you manage that?
I don't know. It's a skill.
Where did the apple go?
On my face, I think.
Well, then would they not fall onto you?
No. I think he had the consistency just right as well. It wasn't. It wasn't lumps of apple. It wasn't smoothie.
I think he's probably done it enough times.
He's done it a few times.
He's a professional.
You know, one person who was bringing it back and made me realize wrestling. It was like early 2000s. It was he had that vibe. It's so sad he died. Bray Wyatt.
Oh well, I'm wearing a Bray Wyatt tee today. Coincidentally,
he was.
He just died recently.
Yeah, they used to call him the Fiend, and he'd have his two brothers in the back. Like the promos that he cut were so cool. Like it was like back.
He's nowhere up there with the big names.
He was getting there. He was getting there.
Different era, man.
Yeah,
that was the best era. Wasn't it? Have you met Mark Calloway?
I haven't. I nearly. I've been stood near him while I was eating fish and chips.
Undertaker.
Kane, no, not met him. I've seen him with that
Big Show.
I've got.
Show.
He was when they do the For the Love of Wrestling convention. We did a Q&A, and I was doing the roving mic with him. Got to chat to him afterwards.
Yeah.
And I've got. I took some random stuff to see if I could get it signed. I have a copy of WCW versus the World for the N64 that he signed for me.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Is there any? You don't have to name them. Any wrestlers that you've been disappointed with? Is it the same?
Trying to think. No, not really. Not had the joy of the Rock.
Brock
Lesnar. Oh no, man, no, I've not encountered him. But then he would throw me into the sun if I displeased him.
Yeah, I always hated Randy Orton. I mean, he's fantastic what he does. He just seems like a dick.
Oh, he was all right. He was quite pleasant when I met him. Just perfunctory, but not an
Viper
asshole.
Snake, what was he called?
Viper, yeah.
I grew up loving Stone Cold, which my mom's like, you can't be doing that. He's giving the thing because I would stand on my couch and fucking do this. So my mom's like, Jesus Christ. I was like 6.
Okay, so let's hear your Stone Cold then. Let's hear, because you're an accent guy.
Oh, yeah. He fucking bottom line. Shake his head. That's fucking bottom line, brother.
See, the problem, son, is you got people shooting their mouths off.
Okay. Okay. Fuck me then. All right.
No.
Before we end this, by the way, we've got to sing. Do you hear the people sing? But anyway, go on, do impressions of The Rock.
Okay, yeah, just do impressions of people.
No, I love this.
You knows the accent. So do you need ones to get into? Like, do you need to hear them?
Love William Regal.
I'm not good at the only impression that, and I've been doing my stand-up that goes well.
Accents, you don't really impressions.
But lately, I've been doing Alan Carr. I've been having a lot of fun with Alan Carr.
Oh,
that's quite good.
Yeah, but I don't do impressions at all. People think, if you do, which is weird. You'd think if I can do accents, I can do impressions.
Yeah,
I can't. That's something I wish I could do.
It's different. It's once you get like a word or a phrase. Do you find it with accents? Once you find a word or a phrase, you can build on it.
Hey, up for Yorkshire. Sats on Setsy. That's for Yorkshire.
But the rest wrestler and the comedian rules is there's a comedian that everyone does the voice. There's comics that everyone does their voice. You know, like you go up and down the country.
Gavin Webster.
You know,
yeah.
I'm full time.
Bandauer.
Fucking, are you mad? And then
I'll burn your fucking library down, man.
And then all you have to do is like,
Great accent.
I am mate, and everyone knows who you are, right?
Do a London. Do a
Essex.
Essex.
Go on, you have to do it for me and I'll try and copy you.
Of course, when I do it, I go gay. I don't know why. Like, listen, babes, in the day, yeah.
That's just Alan Carr without a wobble.
All the time. Well, I do that, yeah.
Nah, at the end of the day, babe, I'm not having it. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
From Southend.
Well, what, from Southend?
There you go.
Yeah. Isn't it? But Essex is like London, but it's a bit more nasal, isn't it?
Like,
It's kind of.
That was Michael Caine. That was that.
You're only supposed to blow.
I was like,
That's not like Steve Coogan doing Michael Caine. You're far too nasal.
Can you do Brumay? Right.
What?
Look at the size you like. Brumay.
Well, from Birmingham.
Have you always been good at it, or like have you worked quite hard at it?
No, I just like I used to do characters back in Canada. Like I thought different American things. I do a character.
Can you do Welsh?
Listen, Simon, he put on shows for his mum. Okay.
Wales, we need fucking driving in Wales now. Look at the state.
No, that's not it. Wait.
No, I wasn't very good.
Right.
Welsh
what's occurring?
Welsh is hard.
What's occurring? I used to be able
Welsh,
to,
you know.
sometimes when I do Wales,
The valleys.
yeah,
The
Tampa
valleys.
Human region. When I do Wales, sometimes I do Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I'm doing
it's
different
common
Welsh.
Going into Newcastle, yeah.
My absolute favourite though is like West Country. I think it's hilarious. People talk like that. You right
Yeah.
there, my love?
Oh yeah,
I think it's so funny.
It's something I talk about because it's not a sexy accent.
No,
It's
I think I think of an accent, it's a strong accent, sexy no matter where it's from.
like even if they were like
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
south.
Yeah.
Hey girl, you're right.
I've
fucking
I've searched the South for porn.
Yeah, but I'm not talking like it's southern bit. Like
I'm talking like,
Yeah, I mean,
hey girl.
I love an accent. So if it's a strong accent, it turns me on. I don't know what it is, but there's something about
Ew,
it.
just the thought of you turned on made me
Just
a little nauseous.
Yeah. Like I used to love Charlotte Church. Going through puberty, she was the one for me. Yeah.
I didn't hear puberty until I was like nearly 18. Like I literally talked like this till I was nearly 18. I used to call in to my high school and do like my mother's accent. Hi, yeah, Kevin won't be coming in
I
today.
like to do the Irish one. I like that.
Yeah.
Why are you not opening your mouth?
Out of it, you know.
Well, there's different kinds, so that's the fucking
I
dope.
know, I know.
How are you?
I
All right
love
there?
John Lynn's voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I
then
We all
love
calm
his
it down a
voice.
little bit.
My favourite's the farmer. I absolutely love the farmer for Irish.
I like that.
I think it's fucking
Oh,
brilliant,
there's
right?
especially
I love I keep doing that.
you go into Kerry. Have you been?
Oh, Jay's a lot of my family from Kerry.
Turn
And then
around.
from
And there's
Cavan.
a wall of toilet paper.
From people from
a
Cavan.
moment on the
Love
Roddy
Chris Kent.
Piper tour. We were travelling to around Ireland trying to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
somewhere, and I stopped a field and asked a farmer for directions, and I said something to him, and he said something to me, and there's a moment we just looked at each other and went,
This
"We
is
will
not-
never understand each other," and we just kind of nodded and went about our days.
Fair enough.
Can you guys do Northern Ireland again?
Northern Ireland.
My Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Hey, I go gay. We do Northern Ireland
don't
as well.
know.
Yeah.
No, you're still doing Dublin. Look at the state of you.
Northern Ireland.
Anyway,
Let's get back to Stone Cold.
Can you hear the people sing?
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Sing a song of angry men.
That's
son.
fantastic, man. That's actually
a great
fantastic.
Stone Cold.
Can you do the bottom line? Like?
line.
And that's the bottom line.
Get him
The
in-
Stone Cold said so.
Austin 316.
Yeah. Oh man, I once
It doesn't matter
won
what your name is.
a year's subscription to
doesn't matter what
WWE
your
magazine doing an impression of The Rock.
Go on.
The Rock.
Yeah,
Let's
The
hear
Rock.
it.
It was at the WrestleMania at the
Everybody
Access.
close the eyes. Close the eyes.
They had a thing where they said get in the ring and who wants to had an impersonation
Yeah.
competition. So I went in and I just took a deep breath and I went, finally, The Rock has come back
Holy
to Houston.
Please tell me you put this in your stand-up stuff, do you?
Where did you first meet The Rock?
Is yours just specific to it?
It doesn't matter where you first. Yeah.
Can you do
That's
the
quality,
eye? Please, do you do this in your stand-up? You have to. You
I
must.
do not.
It's
It
dead
has-
specific to wrestling,
yeah.
isn't it?
It is, but that's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
I mean, it's
Imagine The Rock working at McDonald's. Here's your milkshake, brother.
do you want to go large? It doesn't matter. Yeah, but he's bigger than everything, man.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
bigger than life.
That's great. That's a fucking fantastic. Both of those are great.
So
you were a weird kid, weren't you?
Why-
You were in your room.
I'm a weird adult. I'm still a weird kid.
What were you doing before stand-up?
I don't remember.
Right.
Why Eddie Guerrero?
Why Eddie Guerrero? He's just... His matches were so good, but as a personality, when he was doing the lie, cheat, and steal thing, he was charismatic, Latino. And just
him and Chris Benoit were like fucking.
I mean, he was a favorite of mine as well.
Benoit.
And then he made what could be charitably called some bad choices.
We've all been in that position.
Yeah, I've always liked Taker.
Oh, he's
just
iconic.
the entrance of Taker.
I hated
phenomenal
theatre when he was the American badass. That really upset me.
Oh yeah,
not the rolling, but the dung.
No, I know.
When that happens,
when he was
the amount of kids I've pile drive that. I'm surprised I haven't broke their necks. Is insane.
I almost broke my mate's back doing the walls of Jericho because I didn't have Sky, so I didn't know what to do the walls of Jericho. I literally just got his legs and sat on his back. He almost snapped his
I learned how to do the figure four. Ric Flair.
Oh yeah.
Who almost broke my brother's ankle. I can get it.
Spine busting. Oh, I love it.
Oh man, I got to the same day I did that impression of The Rock in a fan fest thing was the same day that Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25, and I got to be there when all the entrances, all the stage, and when there was a moment in the match, spoilers if you haven't watched it, it's a long time, it's your own fault, or you don't give a shit at this point. Undertaker hit the tombstone, went for the cover, 1, 2, Shawn Michaels kicked out, and 70,000 people became like a creature, all one thing. Everyone lost their shit, and I'm quite socially awkward outside of these situations. A bit reserved. They're on my own because I'm a winner. But I was high-fiving and hugging strangers. Everyone
It's like a football. It's like literally like a football match.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly.
It's like it's as close as because football's not my thing. But if you the appeal of wrestling is if it's done right, you can give someone the FA Cup final every month forever.
It's one of those things that if you buy into it, you'll have the best night of your life.
That's one of the things you've got to go and just go. Just
you have to know that this is all.
And I'm just gonna buy
you don't
into
go and be like, this is fake. This is bullshit. You didn't hit him. Like you can't.
That's one thing I am very supportive. If you go into something, just fucking.
I know.
Even if it's a one night only.
Yeah.
Just get into it.
Yeah.
Just buy into it. Yeah. Like.
How many bitches have you gotten with your Stone Cold Steve Austin impression?
As many as it deserves.
As you'd expect.
Eddie Guerrero to me was never a star.
It sounded like you're saying Guerrero.
It's
that's what I like to say. Chavo.
Well, he was a wrestler's wrestler, like the comic. So it's who connects with you, isn't it, man? And that was a guy. And also because I've watched.
Mine was Trish Stratus.
Oh, that you make you overcompensating.
Lovely Trish.
Overcompensating with Trish. China.
She's lovely.
China was a good.
Have you seen her without undies on?
Yeah.
Clitoris bigger than my penis.
Yeah. Love that.
Good gal. Good gal.
It does look a
taking
bit.
that test, China.
Sucky clit.
It does look a bit like a pig in blanket from Christmas.
It looks phenomenal.
Oh man,
I love that woman. She's so fit.
Trisha's ace. Did a panel with her last year at the.
Oh, did you smell her? Did she smell fantastic?
Well, yes. Well, I don't remember smelling off.
Did you sniff it?
What was she wearing?
I've got photos. We'll talk after. But what was interesting is she's a pro. So you get people in the crowd, fans, and I had this moment. I looked around at fans of certain going, "Oh, there's a lot of people who've wanked over this person."
Yeah.
And one of the guys, they sort of asked this. So Trish, I really liked all your swimsuit shoots you did with WWE. What were your favorite ones? And he's like, "Oh, you creep." And Trish has obviously had this before. She just went, well, really, what was your favorite? And this guy just fucking wilted. It was beautiful.
Especially the wrestling fans. Like, you guys are nuts, and we all are, but there's some wrestling fans that are like on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Severe, like
full 128K
hardcore.
The big musty guy called where he used to wear chainmail.
Scott Steiner.
Oh yeah, who's the guy who had the little toothpick? And he had
Scott Hall or Razor Ramon. I know too much about this.
I watched that documentary with him and
DDP.
No, it was him and we were just talking about him. Snake
Jake Roberts, yeah.
Where they went to rehab together and like his hip. He's dead now, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
Razor?
Scott Hall passed away I think earlier this year.
Yeah,
It was Dallas Page who put them together and got them through rehab.
Yeah.
I've got his number.
Oh, the Dudley boys.
Okay.
Oh, the Duds.
They
Yeah,
were my favourites.
Did you?
I used to love
Ray
the
Mysterio is my
Dudley
favorite. 619.
Really?
Booyaka, 619. Where he'd swing.
I like Scotty Tuati the Worm.
Oh, he came and
Scotty
wrestled.
Tuati, Rikishi, and my
Oh,
grandmaster.
yeah.
Scotty came and wrestled for us at Future Shock
Did he?
in July.
Did he do the Worm?
Oh, he did. Of course he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if he turned up and didn't do the worm, we'd have burnt the fucking place down.
Who's
No.
the guy that used to put green shit in his mouth and spray it at people? Was that?
Right, Tajiri.
That was him. You know a lot. You're like a fucking book.
Oh yeah, I know too
Yeah,
much.
he does know,
Tajiri speaks perfect English, but doesn't let on. He's great.
Did you? So, have you never lost the love for wrestling?
No.
So all the way growing up and stuff. When you managed to work with Mick then and did them tours, and obviously now you work in wrestling a bit. I don't know how much money you make doing it, but
Less than I make doing stand up.
yeah, but you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is, was there a moment where you were like, "This, I can't believe I'm getting to do this."
Constantly, even now, it's
Like I could make no
mad.
money if I was working with Bobby Fowler. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god."
There's
Stevie
don't have to
G.
pay me.
Oh, if I met him.
yeah, but you get so you everyone occupies a space they live in.
Yeah.
But every so often you have that, like when I go, oh, I'm gigging somewhere. Like if I'm gigging in a seaside town, I'll just send like Darren, for it is his real name, William Regal. I'll go, I'm in Blackpool today, mate. Here's a photo of me.
Do you meet up with William Regal every now and then?
Yeah, if we hang out, we can. Yeah.
Well, you used to always tweet each other for a while.
Oh, he used
Mad
to
that
he used to
you'll
tweet
make
me and take the piss. It was great, but like he's because he did all of his. He didn't grow up in Blackpool, but a lot of
Yeah, I
his
thought
young
that was Blackpool,
adult
yeah.
was Blackpool. He still loves the place.
Yeah.
Like years ago when we were doing one of the tours.
Is that the British Bulldog?
No, William
No,
Regal.
William Regal.
Oh,
So that
okay.
voice he puts on, is he proper Blackpool? Is he speak like that?
Oh no, because he was born in Codsall, so he's from just outside Wolverhampton.
Right.
So he's got a bit of a mongrel accent as
How
well.
the fuck did he get in a W?
But then he wrestled all around Britain and overseas.
Yeah.
But he's very much got this William Regal accent. He's very dry.
Right.
There's a YouTube channel that I've been like deep diving in. It's called WrestleLamia. Have you?
Oh, I'm aware of it. Yes.
Fantastic. If you should look it up. It's like all old school stuff, but like the old school, like late 80s, 90s, 2000s. That was all like what I grew up with. And it's fantastic, like the way they piece it together. Really, really good. Just recently, I've been like deep diving back into when it used to be called WWF.
Yeah.
And then they switched it.
Yeah.
Fuck the panda.
Sting.
Yeah.
I used to love Sting. Sting was with the make. How did it stay on?
It didn't.
Oh,
It
never
tended
mind.
to come off during the match. If it was a long match, by the end of it, they would.
Imagine in the eyes and stuff.
Oh, man.
Gold.
What I was. Oh, he's nuts though. See that one against him and the Undertaker like a few years ago, where it's like he nearly like
Ooh, not
broke.
good.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Hang on, am I right in thinking there was a clip one time when Brock Lesnar really punches one of them?
Oh, there's
Compared.
Oh, yeah,
Braun
yeah.
Strowman. Yeah, there's a because
That's funny.
big old Braun
Fucking
in the
cracked
Rumble.
him properly.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman in the Rumble was maybe a little bit careless with him,
He like hammer fisted him in the head.
and,
Like-
and Lesnar just went, "Nah, mate,
Yeah.
fuck."
yeah.
That's good, that.
Oh, he was. What I was gonna say with Mick Foley. Imagine being that like literally just the most average, maybe even just a
Yeah.
bit hefty, and the like sport aspect of it, the athleticism for somebody that size. I think he was just a masochist.
Showman,
He just
though, wasn't he?
loved pain, jumping off. Like I can't even. I don't even think if you gave me $50,000, I would do that. Like jump off a cage. I don't. I think I'd say yes, and then I'd stand there and I'd go like, I can't do it. Like it's.
Oh, in the moment, because it's the question he gets asked all the time when we do the Q&A, and he does this. He says, "Right, people ask me this all the time." Like he did a thing at schools where he go, "Right, any questions?" Loads of hands put up, and he says, "Right." Just before we start, yes, it did hurt when I was thrown off the Hell in a Cell, and all the hands go back down again.
The tooth in the nose
Oh,
as well.
man, as well.
Have you met Vince McMahon?
I haven't. I have been about as far away from him as you are now.
And your opinion of him?
I don't
Like him?
know him. I don't know enough. All I know is what everyone else knows from the.
Yeah.
He's a creep.
News.
He's a
Stephen
creep.
Petty wrestled.
Oh yeah, he had one of the best wrestling names in the world. He was judgmental.
See, do you see the video of Vince
Yeah, I'm on
McMahon
the
running
body
to
watch
stage
this, shout out
and hitting his and blowing out his quads
Oh, I was
together?
watching that live
What
when that was
happened?
happening.
He was running to because he was
Who's the
pissed
stage
off at
member?
something, and he's running at the stage and he's yelling at them. Vince McMahon, and he goes to slide into the stage, but he hits both of his legs,
yeah.
and he
I've
goes to stand
seen
up
that.
and just falls and
Oh, yeah.
lays there.
He tore one quad. Oh, that was the Royal Rumble 2005. Told you I don't know too much about this. And they'd fucked the finish in the match.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be Batista winning, but Cena and Batista went over at the same time.
Yeah.
And he ran out to do a thing. And as he slid in the ring, he blew out one of his quads.
Yeah.
And just had to sit there. And as someone who did a partial tear on my left quad earlier this year, you can't stand. You're just
the fact
down.
that he walked out is insane.
Then he did the other one in the back because he wouldn't accept help.
Yeah. That with Steve Austin, we could talk for hours, but the Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, that Attitude Era where they were doing all that stuff, the cement in the car and stuff.
Oh, the milk fan and all that.
Yeah, spraying him with beer and stuff.
Yeah.
That was great.
What what do you? So now you're working it now. Have you never thought about putting content online and stuff about it? Like,
I don't know, because the weird thing is,
because chatting about it now, seeing your eyes light up, is like,
it's
Smallman's the man, isn't he?
Oh, he's overworking full time in Florida. He's
for WWE?
producer for NXT. He's there.
But the way we're all trying to carve our own niche, sort of thing, is like, that's obviously a perfect one.
It's a weird one because I wanted a lot of the stuff, like the WrestleMania stuff, a lot of the humor is about not necessarily shitting on it, but kind of tearing it apart in a way that I don't really like doing, because I've promoted and I've booked shows and I've done all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I really, it's not so much about I'm trying to kayfabe it and say no, it's all still real. Like, but I don't like talking about how the sausage is made so much.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there is a show about wrestling in me somewhere.
Definitely, yeah. Because like say, even like talking to the comedians that you had on doing the tour, like getting them like just to chat about the favorite. Because everyone's, I think the thing with wrestling is, as much as you want to shit on it, there's a time in your life where you fucking loved it.
There's not one like little boy at one point that was like nuts into it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
even
like,
if it was like a week,
there's so many sort of guests for you to go. When was your wrestling time?
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. You don't want to get rid of the magic. And it's the same with anything. Like when I did some stuff when I was on set, it gets rid of the magic for you. So when you're watching it, you're like, comedy. If you were to tell somebody who didn't do comedy, oh yeah, I did that set last night, they go, what? Wait, you didn't just make that all up now? It's like, well, no.
You know,
I remember my sister coming to see a comic, and she was absolutely gutted when she learned that the audience interaction was the same. I was like, yeah, he just asks questions till he gets the answer that he wants, and then gets to do his bit. And she was like, I just thought he was off the top to everything. I was like, no.
It's just, that's why wrestling. If you're stuck in a car with me on a long journey, I will happily wear out 2.5 hours explaining my comedy and wrestling are the same. Stand up in particular. Because in the same way that wrestling, we kind of it's been 40 years since anyone really pretended it was legit.
Yeah.
And
I oil up before every gig.
Well, who doesn't? You know, you've got to be ready to escape. Tony Wright is phenomenal.
Is he going to make it?
I hope so. I'll put it this way.
WWE?
I hope so. He could be.
Fucking sick.
Because he's got something he's got the Mick Foley quality. So Tony Wright used to be a stand-up, and he started doing wrestling. He is likable, and it is so hard to make people like you without being fake. And he connects, and everyone gets behind him. And in just 2 years, he's now one of the top guys around here. So if the stars align, if he
What's his next step then?
Probably getting to the point where he can then focus on tightening up parts of his business. He's main eventing the next Future Shock show. We've got a grudge match with him that's been building for like a year.
Oh, sick!
And the last show was
Sorry, go on.
No, please, go on.
How do you progress in wrestling?
Same way you do it in comedy.
That's one of the things that always interests me, like musicians and stuff like that. It's like, how's the ladder work? What's it work as?
You suck a lot of cocks, bud.
Oh yeah, you got to do that bag of dicks I mentioned earlier. You work your way through that, and there's 6 more in the back. It's the same way as comedy. You get a reputation. You get most of your early work by being not a cunt as much as being good,
being present,
and just people. It's like top trumps. People see you and go, "Oh, come and do this one and that one."
And you're just a good performer.
Yeah, and
you get the crowd going.
Yeah, exactly. So Tony will get to the point where, at the moment, certainly in the Northwest, he's starting to get a few more gigs outside. It then goes to you start to maybe work for bigger promotions with a bit more exposure. Once you're perceived as being at a certain level, people go, "Oh, well, we'll have him as well." Yeah. But then also, he could have a tryout with WWE, and if it goes well, they'll just sign him.
Where would they try him out?
Probably at a British show. When they come over and do TV, they have tryouts beforehand.
Triple H is the lead guy now, right?
No, he's yeah.
Do you still think Vince McMahon has a huge pull?
Oh,
in it?
he
even though he's out of it.
He won't be gone till he dies.
Yeah,
he'll never retire.
Yeah, but if you've took it from what it was to what it is, I imagine you got to be of that mentality of like, I can't let go of it.
You got to give it to Vince McMahon. As much as he's a pervert and creep, like the guy's fantastic at what he did.
He is. Wrestling as we know it is because of him and what he did. But then there's also other companies. All Elite Wrestling is launched now. They just did Wembley Stadium. Yeah. So there's lot of stuff going on.
My mate went to that one, yeah.
That was pretty.
Is it
pretty
still
good.
Anywhere near as popular as it was when I watched it in like the early 2000s?
It is coming up again.
Because again, it's the same thing, ebbs and flows of that, right?
It's on the rise now.
Okay.
WWE is selling out all over the place.
Really?
They've got their big stars at the moment are Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and
Cody Rhodes.
Oh, he's huge at the moment.
Wasn't his dad to get more jacked to be in the WWE?
Yeah, he's. It's funny because if you look at Tony now compared to what he looked like as doing stand up, like he started off by doing backstage interviews. I actually got him into Future Shock to do backstage interviews.
Yeah, I remember him starting.
And there are videos that pop up in my Facebook timeline of him talking to like wrestlers, and he's skinny. And now he's not like Lesnar.
Yeah,
but he looks
thicker.
like he's
when you see a photo of him now, like, and if you knew him back then, you're like, fucking hell.
Well, he's had 4 years, hasn't he, to get naturally thicker anyway? And all
and he's not. And I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. He's not a gym rat. He's not spending loads of time in the gym.
Need to be
That's just from wrestling.
To get into WWE.
Yeah, he'll need to hit a certain aesthetic, but then at the same point, you have guys like Mick Foley. There's exceptions to every rule.
Right,
or Eddie Kingston in AEW, who looks like, quite frankly, a kebab shop owner. But
what would be your wrestling name? You must have thought of it.
Yeah, Chris Brooker.
Chris Brooker.
Yeah.
Really?
No nickname.
No. I'm me. You know, that's it. I've got to be a manager in Morecambe for a little bit because my sideline gig is teaching wrestlers how to cut promos. So coming out of lockdown, I went, I've never actually done this. So I got in touch with one of the guys I was coaching. I said, could I possibly come? Because there's a company called Odyssey Pro Wrestling in Morecambe. And the saying is, it's still really Morecambe. Because it's fucking Morecambe. They are insane. It's like they believe. It's like going back 40 years. Yeah. They cheer the good guys, they boo the bad guys, and if you're a bad guy, they legit hate you. And
that sounds like mental illness.
It's amazing.
But it's also just bossed me apart.
Oh, good God.
It's mad how all this is going on, though, isn't it? Like comedy, and we don't have a clue.
No, but that's the thing, because people who only go to watch comedy in the arena don't know about comedy clubs and vice versa. So I went off and I did that, and I thought about it. I went, I'm just going to be me, a version of me that thinks he's a big star, that goes, I'm a mainstream comedian, I'm a entertainer, I'm a star, I'm friends with Hall of Famers, and above all, I'm a patron of the art of wrestling.
Yeah.
And people thought, who's this posh cunt think he is? And I got a group of wrestlers called the Spotlight, because wherever I go, the Spotlight comes with me. And all of this stuff. And I convinced that one of their heroes to turn his back on them. And the highlight was like an old deer took a swing at me with a bag. So I've arrived. But it's satisfying in that moment and having that connection. And all I did was be a version of me with the volume up. And
it's literally just it's a musical. It's a play.
Exactly. It's like Rocky Horror or Panto or stand-up.
Who's the biggest name in your phone book then, wrestling wise?
Probably Mick Foley
and William Regal.
William Regal.
Mick Foley's
got DDP, Dallas Page. Probably got a few others. I can't remember.
Mick Foley's big, like.
Yeah.
Where's your accent from, by the way?
Just somewhere fucking nowhere.
Are you gonna start doing it?
No, I can't put it like
it's like it
sounds like you're having a stroke.
Like Formby Wool.
Formby sort of Southport ways.
So you're not Scouse, but you're more Scouse than
I'm Scouse outside the Liverpool.
What bin colour are we talking here?
I've got the one colour bin.
Okay.
It's not the purple one.
It's a big deal.
So you're not Mancunian, because sometimes you sound a bit Mancunian. Then
I'm under the weather as well at the minute, so I'm a bit nasally.
Honey.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anyway, it's come to this part of the show.
Well, I've
where
killed
we
it again.
Sing Les Miserables.
I don't know the whole song at all.
Can we look the lyrics up, or is it just? Or do you want us just? I mean, improv.
No, just do it. Yeah, fuck it.
Blag it.
Well, actually, I want to hear Kevin sing, and then Rob.
I'm not your fucking puppet.
I just want to listen to it.
Could you warm us up with a bit of Freddie Mercury as well?
Why?
Because it's just really, autism basically. So he loves seeing you do accents, and he loves hearing people sing, and he'd sit there and just like enjoy it. Yeah. But we sort of actively have to stop singing on the pod now because he encourages it too much, and I like doing it.
I sing crooners,
so now we have to stop.
Oh, go on, sing me some.
What's
whatever you want. Crooners or like
let me look up.
What's a crooner? Like a Mac the Knife.
Dean Martin.
I'll sing. Let's
Dean
do
Martin,
it. Mac the Knife.
Sinatra.
Go on, do Mac the Knife.
Let's get a few lyrics up here.
Do Mac the Knife and then do the dream.
The shark bites.
Do the
with its teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly whites. Just a jackknife has old Meg Heath, babe, and he keeps it out of sight. And then we'll go to.
I just love the fact that just your foot is going
Yeah.
there. It's beautiful. It's like a little metronome.
Oh, when I'm hammered, that's my song. That song or somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Whoa.
somewhere.
I just got tingles.
Where do you stand on Minnie the Moocher?
Oh, he's fantastic.
That's my
Cab Calloway.
karaoke song is Minnie the Moocher. Any Blues Brothers songs.
Have you ever heard the song "Everybody Eats When at My House" by Cab Calloway? It's like
It's off sing, Cab Calloway.
Cab Calloway.
He's a lion off sing, isn't he?
He's a lounge singer.
A lion off sing, I'm sure it's something Calloway.
No, who?
Sing the Pixar film about the with
What is going on? Are you lost?
Again. Right, anyway, let's do Let
Simon's also obsessed with the film
When
Sing,
the beating
which is an
of
animated
your
film.
I've never seen
There
it.
goes a beating of the drums.
Why don't we sing like
of the Angry Men
who
line.
will not?
Sing
Why don't we
Angry
sing
Men line.
Master of the House?
Oh, I don't like Master of the House.
Or what's the one where she gets and then she
I Dreamed
sings?
a Dream.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What's the? How does the Angry Men line start? It goes,
What do you mean?
sing the song of Angry Men.
Sing the song of angry men. It is the music
Come
of the
I don't know this
people
song.
who will not
Right,
be
let's just rock
slaves
it then.
again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there's the night about to start when tomorrow comes.
And then the next one, give it some. Ooh, and then give it someone else. Like that was just like
Do you two
singing
want a moment? Are we?
Yeah, we
I
do.
feel like
I
we're
want you to really
intruding.
give it someone when they give it some.
You ever watch Coco?
No.
Oh, that's
Disney?
magnificent.
Yeah,
film.
yeah. Remember me.
Oh yeah, great song.
See, if it was a Little Shop of Horrors, I'd be.
Oh, suddenly Seymour
Oh man,
standing beside you.
Goosebumps, man. Keep going.
Don't have to worry.
nobody
Don't be
ever.
afraid. I thought I was the right way.
Keep going, keep going.
Nobody ever treated me kindly.
Oh, stop it, Chris.
Daddy left early. Mama was poor. I'd meet a man and I'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers. Me, I'd say sure.
Hands.
I'm feeling it.
Theater hands.
I once got taken by my girlfriend to see
the
a
arse.
production. Well, obviously, gotta live, man. That was for the Bag of Dicks. They were hers.
Yeah.
I got taken by her to see one of her students in a production of Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
In a little studio somewhere near here. And one of the Ronettes had the most pronounced lisp I've ever heard. And you know how it's quite serious, but you hear something funny, and it then, because it's serious, it's the funniest thing you've ever fucking heard in your life. Yeah. All I heard was, suddenly Seymour. And I think I nearly died, because I was like going, as everyone else was going, what's wrong with this prick?
Do we guys
Sing
know?
it, child.
Tell me when will you be mine? Tell me quando. You don't know that song?
Keep going.
We can share a love divine. Please don't make me wait again. How do you guys not know that song? Engelbert Humperdinck?
Keep going,
Do you know,
man.
do you not like My Fair Lady?
Yeah, sing that then.
Oh, that's my favourite of all time.
Sing that. Keep singing, but keep.
Rocky Horror
When
Picture
you're going to sing
Show.
something, you carry on singing because you're finishing too soon and I can't get into the song. I'm getting like
Finishing
10
too
seconds.
soon, you can't
it's like
get-
when you're in a nightclub and he starts playing song and then he quickly moves into another one. You go like, oh, for fuck's sake. I like that one, but now I like Serrani No Games, but now we're in fucking Tambourine by Eve. Like, I like the song. Doing 15, 20 seconds of each, and I get it. It's getting the people going, but I want you to just play the whole song for me.
Let's get some
stand up too.
So just sing something,
Let's
please.
get some songs that are not crooners in the style of crooners then.
Oh, I've heard one of them. My neck,
My back, lick my pussy and my crack.
First you gotta put your neck into it. Don't stop, just do it, do it. Then you gotta roll your tongue from the back to the front, and then bust it all till a shake and come.
Oh, don't say it.
No,
Don't say
keep
it.
busting nuts. All
Do you know that
over
song?
your face and stuff.
James
Slow
Morrison.
Slow head
Not just doing
shows me
15
so much
seconds
love.
either.
My neck,
Leading
my
back down.
back.
Makes me feel alright. This could be nothing, but I'm willing to give it a try. Please give me something. Someday I might know your heart.
So when's the album? I mean, it's Christmas coming
I'm
soon.
waiting to wrap
Oh,
up. He knows.
oh.
I'm waiting for him to wrap up.
I know, but
Whatever I did, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good.
I want you back.
Want you back.
I want you back.
I want you back for good. Whatever I did. Okay, never mind.
Sing West. I feel like sometimes you've got a good voice, but you get a bit in your head about it, and then you start to go
doing silly
stupid.
voices.
Yeah.
This is a bit X Factor all of a
you
sudden.
need to
You
just
listen
go.
to your mammy too much.
You need to just go.
Ignore
Kevin.
your mammy's voice and
guys
just
are
do
so
it.
Going stupid with it.
Ignore
and,
your
like,
mammy's
you've
voice
got-
and
you
just
can
do your song.
Do
brother.
Westlife Flying Without Wings now, and
I don't know what that. I don't.
Everybody's
Looking for that
No.
something.
I don't know.
something
One
that
This is part of your
makes you
heritage.
all
Complete.
This is your culture.
You find it in the strangest places,
places you never knew it could.
Next, you'll be saying you don't know C'est la Vie by
Find it
Bewitched.
in the face of
That's your culture too.
Some find it in the lover's eyes.
And I don't deny
The
the joy it brings.
when you found that special thing. You're flying without wings. And for me, it's waking up beside you.
To watch the
Do you ever feel like maybe this podcast was just like a front?
They wanted to learn.
this song.
We've come a long way.
Oh, not to take that.
Okay.
Totally twats.
All right.
Have you, to go back to what I said about your culture and your rich cultural heritage, are you familiar with Bewitched and C'est la Vie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people say I look like me dad. Are you
Right.
serious?
That video, if you show someone who doesn't know it,
No.
has never seen
Say you
it,
will.
it does look like 4 young lesbians bullying a straight boy. That
Oh.
video. It's just, it's watch it again through that prism.
Back in the day, that one, wasn't it? I was what, 97?
Right,
would
we
that
need to
be?
wrap this up
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Hey,
Shite
hey,
across Twitter.
hey. What? Oh.
You can dance, classic. You can jive, having the
Copeland.
time of your life. Ooh, see that girl. Watch that scene. Chicken the dancing queen.
That's it. Come on.
You have a hard
Come on.
penis right now.
Beat the Frog World Champ right here.
That's what I'm doing for 5 minutes. Friday
If
night
two
and the
cards go up,
nights
you
are-
bring that out.
And you got the
And
breath.
they've got to keep you on. You cannot gong that.
Friday night and the nights are
Yeah,
low.
that's it. You'll
Looking
rip
out
it.
for a place to go. Oh yeah.
ABBA though.
Whoa.
But do it because you will win. I once saw a guy
Soft.
sing Angels to his missus at Beat the Frog.
Is that I'm
To say sorry or
angels
something. He
again.
came on stage and he was a good looking lad and he sang Angels and he
Do it all
party
right.
when you're still young.
Oh, that
Who's gonna
song.
have your
Angels
back
by Robbie
when it's
Williams.
all
Yeah, I thought you were
Oh,
singing. Yeah.
And then after about a few minutes, I think Nightingale MC'd, and it got to about 3.5 minutes, and I think he just went, because it was mad. It was mad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish he got to the final. Imagine winning it from just
He
singing
never
that
did
song.
stand up. He just one gig, he booked it in, and he sang that
That's
one.
got to be, I'll forgive you if you do that.
Something like that.
Shorty,
I
you're
think she was
my
mortified.
angel. You're my darling angel. Closer than my peeps you are
Now
to
don't go
me.
stupid, Kev. Come on.
Baby,
Baby.
shorty, you're my angel. You're my darling angel. What is it?
Closer than my peeps you are to me.
I still body when you're home when you're
Last
young.
one, baby, when you're still young. Who's gonna have your back when it's all done?
When you're young and you live from the down to
Now.
Right, Chris, where can we find you?
Oh,
Where can everyone find you?
fucking hell.
fucking ring, brother.
Piece of trash. What? Across all social media, at the Brooker
It would have
Man.
been funny if you went, it doesn't matter where they can
I
find
was
you.
and then
man.
he's all jumped in.
Yeah.
And I'll say, what's your social media?
Generally,
It doesn't matter what you
I
do.
do three things. I lie, I steal, I fucked it. I cheat, I steal.
He's fucked it.
Yeah.
What?
Piece of trash. What? But also follow at Future Shock Wrestling, because that's the company I book for. Come and check it out.
Definitely.
I'm going to do a 5 on that.
Oh, should we? That should
have
be
a
one
trip.
of our patrons.
Patreon.
Should we do a little wrestle?
That'd be funny, that.
Do you want me to teach you a hold?
Imagine you and I wrestling.
No, I want. Can we have a match?
A match?
Me v him.
Would you
On
stick
a
us on
short
for
one.
5?
Would we fuck?
How long can we?
Where do I even start to say how that can't happen?
How would you get through
Why can't we do? Like,
Well, I'll tell you what. You can't do it at a show, but if you wanted to come to the Future Shock PC in Manchester and do it in the training ring,
He's cutting a
Yeah.
promo right now.
we can do that.
The
Yeah.
thing, you've done that, haven't they?
oh, have they?
They've
Oh
done
yeah,
some
they
wrestling.
Oh,
But it's podcast rules. It's like, know how sitcoms eventually have a
Honestly, Chris,
highlight
there's
video.
not a
Rob to get beaten up a bit.
Yeah.
right. No, I
Anyway,
want a choke slam.
Follow
Simon.
Future Shock Wrestling.
Kevin O'Finn.
Kev O'Finn, if you wanna follow me.
Get down to Manchester. And when's the final?
November 6th.
No, don't be fucking.
Yeah, don't
be
actually
doing
don't come down.
Get down there and vote for him and make
No,
and bend
don't.
the vote.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
go.
want you
And
to.
if he wins, he's going to do Westlife, Flying Without Wings,
Yeah.
start to finish as his acceptance speech.
Fly me to the moon.
What happens if
So was it Kev O'Finn and everything?
yeah.
What happens if people come to see you at Beat the Frog World Series final and then they're going, "Come on, ABBA, ABBA,
I would do it.
ABBA, where's the ABBA?"
I would throw out the material and just do it. The winner takes it all.
I want this side to do Dancing Queen, and this side winner takes it all. I'm going to medley them. It's going to be like Pitch Perfect. Come on.
Would you just ask him out, Rob, for
Yes.
the love of God?
I know you're threatened.